Ready to go. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Black Spinner Music Podcast. Today, we have four special guests with us today, and our topic today, we are continuing on with the American theme for the month of July, and today we are doing top bands or top artists from our respective state. Today, we have Jerry Stupa from Three Shots Down podcast, and he will be representing the state of California. And also, we have Mark Alden Taylor from the Freeform Rock podcast, and also the Mark and Jerry BS Sessions community. And he is also going to be representing the state of California. There's a lot to choose from the state of California. And also, we have Al Horta from Be Cool or Be Podcast Out podcast. And he is going to be doing New Jersey on the East Coast. There's a lot of bands coming out of there, a lot to choose from, a lot of different genres as well. Oh, yeah. And also we have Kate from the International House of Vinyl, and she'll be representing the state of Michigan. That, too, is very rich with artists and bands. And I will be your host. I am Andy Rodriguez. The Black Spinner from the Black Spinner Circle, and I'll be representing the great state of Texas, another state that has so much to talk about, so much different genres to choose from.
You better pick one. I'm not going to say the band name, but you better pick one.
I know two. We better pick. I know two. We better pick.
Yeah, or else I'm rioting.
I'm trying to think. I'm thinking about the one you're thinking about, Al. I thought about it, but we'll see when we get to that.
All right. You know what? Because you might not be that familiar with them. I mean, you might have one or two things, but you know.
I'm just saying. I wish I was from Canada. All right, go ahead.
The great state of Canada. There's a lot, dude. You know what? There's a lot to choose from Canada. A lot of great ones there too, man.
Rush.
Yeah. You'd have to be like, all right, no Rush, whatever. Top 10 besides Rush.
No Triumph either. Rush and Triumph.
Bryan Adams.
Yeah, Bryan Adams.
Yeah.
Helix, Honeymoon Suite. You know, April Wine.
Loverboy.
April Wine.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of great ones, man.
Neil Young.
Yeah, there you
go. Bachman Turner Overdrive.
Yeah.
But guess who? Oh, well, they kind of bit off of each other. All right, guys.
I can't think right now, so I don't want to think.
So here we go, guys. We'll get started. We'll go. Just go.
Be like that tomorrow. All right, go ahead.
We'll go with Jerry, Mark, Al, Kate, and then myself. And these are not going to be numbered. They're just going to be 10 artists. And then 5 honorable mentions. Mark has his that are numbered. So either which way we do it, mine's kind of numbered as well. All right, so get started. Let's go, Jerry.
Well, my number 10 is one of the most underrated bands, I think, in history of music. They're from Hollywood, California. Concrete Blonde. I love Johnette, and forgive me, I'm going to screw up her last name. I can never say it right. Napolitano. Is that it? I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, that album, Bloodletting, is such a great album. It's one of my favorite albums, actually, of all time. And the guitar solos from James Mankey are just amazing, dude. On Lullaby and that song called Joey, the guitar solos are just top notch, man. Very underrated band and a trio too.
I didn't know that they were a trio.
Yep. She played bass and she had a guitar player and a drummer. And they might have had more touring members, but they recorded as a trio. And man, I love I love her voice, man. One of the most underrated singers, I think, in the history of music.
I really love that song, Joey.
That's a great song, man. I tell you, you ever hear that song Lullaby off Bloodletting, man? The guitar solo on that is just incredible. Anyway, that's my first, I guess, number 10.
That's fine. Mark, what are you going to start off with for the state of California?
I think my list is a little eclectic. I got the big ones there, but I'm going to pick Suicidal Tendencies from East LA, man. My God, fucking one of the best freaking punk debut albums of all time. Then they went thrash and they went punk. They went punk, thrash, punk. You know, they had Robert Trujillo in there for a while. It did Infectious Grooves. This band fucking rules. And I don't know why they don't get more fame than a freaking Sex Pistols. This band kills the Sex Pistols, in my opinion. But that's my number 10.
They're probably just not as not obnoxious, but vocal as Sex Pistols were, man.
Like Mike Murr? That dude has like
compared to Johnny Rotten and them, dude. No way, dude.
I'd rather hear Mike Murr.
I'm not saying that they're not better or worse. I'm just saying that they're more outspoken to say. That's the word I'm looking for.
Dude,
I brought more attention to
right.
the band.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's an Hispanic punk, man.
I got no problem with that choice. They're a great band, dude.
They were one of the first crossover bands.
Yeah.
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 That went from punk to metal.
Bob Bro just said that he wanted a Pepsi. All he wanted was a Pepsi.
I always want a Pepsi.
Hey, Bob, how's it going? Good to hear from you.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I'm friends with him again. We're good.
Yeah, I saw that. It makes me so happy.
I told him to behave.
Al, what are you going to start off with?
All right, my number 10 comes from Jackson, New Jersey. Played guitar in this guy's band. This band too. Zach Wild. So I'm just kind of like, he's a New Jersey guy. So
I thought he was from California.
Nah, he's a Jersey guy.
I never knew that, man.
Jackson, New Jersey, man.
Gotcha.
He played in the early to mid 80s. He played all around. Well, like mid 80s, he played around the Jersey club circuit.
Okay.
Never got to see him early on, but yeah, he was an up and coming, guitar player. He actually learned from Dave DiPietro from TT Quick. I think gave him lessons and shit, which is another Jersey band.
That guy's in what is it? What's that man?
What's that?
The singer TT Quick. He's in.
Oh, he's an Accept.
Accept, yeah. He's great. I love him.
Yeah, Mark Tornillo, man. He's excellent. But yeah, Zach Wild, man. I got to give him props because he's a Jersey guy, so he's done solo albums. He's done Oz. He's Pride and Glory.
Pantera.
What's that?
I said Pantera.
Oh, Pantera now, yeah. We'll see how that goes, but
it'll probably be a fun show, man.
I want to go.
I'll go. I mean, I saw Pantera back in the heyday, but I'll go to see this.
Yeah,
I think they got the okay and blessings from the Abbott family.
Right.
So
yeah. I mean, I'm sorry.
That's true, then I'm good with it, man.
Yeah, at first I was like, "What the hell are they doing?" And the more I think about it, it's like, why not? That's great.
Yeah.
Now that
you want to go see it. If not, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
This is a band that's been gone for like 20 years, and like their stature since then is really kind of, a whole new generation gotten into them, has never seen them or whatever. And yeah, dude, just go for it, man. Fuck what other people think, Who am I? I mean, I can just offer my opinion and whatever, but I mean, it's their life, man. It's music.
Yeah, I'm sure my opinion has no effect on what they're thinking.
Of course.
The 90s was a lost decade for me. I was just really stoned, taking care of my grandma. I didn't go to really any concerts. I think Balance.
Yeah, that was
Van Halen was the one I saw in the 90s. The only one I remember.
That was 2000, 2010 to me, man.
And that was Collective Soul was opening for them. That was a good.
Love
show.
that band.
So that's my.
Sorry, Kate. We're like blocking you. I'm sorry.
You're fine. No, talk. That's the whole point of the show.
Yeah.
All right, so Al with that's a really good one. That's the way to.
He's in so much stuff. Like he does so many things.
What's that?
That's a way to think outside the box by picking him. When I saw the album, I was like, Ozzy's not from Jersey.
Yeah.
But
I
There's
always
so
thought
much
he
stuff,
was
too.
from California. I always thought he was an LA guy. I never knew that.
I think he moved out to LA, and I think like that's when Ozzy kind of discovered him.
Yeah.
I tell you, I learn every time I talk to you guys, man. That's why I love you all.
That's a lot of these guys. Well, a lot of these guys and gals, but a lot of the people grew up in that state or whatever, and then moved to LA or New York.
Most of these bands are transplants,
Mm-hmm.
except for Suicidal so far.
So, Kate, what are you going to start off with?
It's kind of a random, but I wanted to go with Ray Parker Jr. Fame for the Ghostbusters theme, but he did so much other stuff. So I want to read this list of like people that he worked with. So he was Stevie Wonder's like lead guitar forever.
Oh, wow.
Carpenters, Bill Cosby. That's probably not a good one to mention. Rufus and Shaka Khan, the Supremes, Aretha Franklin, Denise Williams, Bill Withers, Michael Henderson, Jean-Luc Ponty, Leon Haywood, The Temptations, Boz Scaggs, David Foster, Rhythm Heritage, Gladys Knight and the Pips, Herbie Hancock, Tina Turner, Diana Ross. It goes on, but I couldn't memorize that list, but I was like, damn, he's worked with so many people.
That is a lot.
Yeah, it's crazy. So, and especially being like, all these Motown people did that kind of like reading into this and looking up all these different Motown guys that anyone was signed with Motown or like Tamala Records. You have all these other things that they did and they kind of switched around who played with whom. And Barry White, he played with Barry White, and then like his first tour with Stevie Wonder, they were opening for the Rolling Stones.
Nice.
Like that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's cool to know because I always thought of him just from Ghostbusters.
Yeah, that's what I didn't even know he was from Detroit, honestly, until I started researching this. I was like, oh damn, I never knew he was from Detroit.
That's
so that's like the Ghostbusters was like charting #1 for 3 weeks when it came out. That's a big deal, and it's weird for like a theme from a movie soundtrack to be charting for so long. So
it's because he stole it from Huey Lewis in the News, but
it is definitely that style for sure. Yeah.
Well, they sued him and they won because that's I want a new drug sped up.
Did you ever hear a guy?
That makes sense. I'd never heard that before, but it is the same. Yeah.
The bass line.
And Huey Lewis stole it from a guy named M. If you ever heard of him, that's all pop music. You ever hear that song?
Yeah, everybody just borrows things from other people.
He had a band called Radio too, I think.
Yeah, it was RAY for Ray.
Radio.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
And
I had the Ghostbusters soundtrack.
He was in the Spinners too.
Oh, nice.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah,
The Spinners are playing down the street in a couple weeks.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know who's in there though.
Yeah, I wonder who's playing for
Nobody
them.
Original, probably.
Yeah.
Looks like the Smithereens are playing, but that guy's dead. Down the street too.
Oh yeah. That's funny.
Hey.
Ray Parker Jr. is still alive, so who knows? It could be him.
I like the Smithereens, but the original singer's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have like 2 guys that kind of rotate singing for them now. So
interesting. I saw not the Spinners, but I saw the Four Tops like not too long ago.
Yeah,
with
that'd be fun. Temptations would be fun. Like all the Motown bands that there's still so many of them around. It's wild to think that there's a lot of these people are still alive and still tour or do shows. Yeah, he's another one. He's from Detroit too.
Yeah. My number 10, or what's going to start from my list, in the I guess 91 to 94, these guys were a top-notch rap band, and I loved them. The first 3 albums I know word for word. They come from Fifth Ward, Texas, which is a ward here in Houston. Ghetto Boys, GETO Boys. I've seen them live. One time, the Bushwick Bill has passed away, but Scarface is doing his farewell tour this summer. Hope. In fact, my friend and I were talking about that this weekend. He's going to be playing in Austin, and we're going to try and catch in the middle of August. But Ghetto Boys, if you're not too familiar with them, man, their rap was really some scary shit. You know, they didn't glamorize.
My Mind's Playing Tricks on Me is a classic, man.
Yeah, My Mind Playing Tricks on Me.
Oh, I know that song. Okay, I know that song now.
Yeah, that's off of We Can't Be Stopped. But there's some scary shit coming out of there, and you know, it was interesting stuff. And that is my number. Oh, well, that's what I'm starting off with. They've always been my favorite, one of my favorite rap bands. I don't have that many favorite rap bands, but when I listen to rap, I throw on Ghetto Boys. The first 3 albums were just, man, kick ass. So that's what I'm starting off with. The Ghetto Boys.
Bill was a character, man.
Huh? Yeah, man.
Bill was a character.
I saw him when I was in high school. he did a solo tour for his first solo album, and he had a song on that album called Chucky, and he came out just like Chucky because he was a little person.
Yeah.
And man, it was a really good album. I forgot the name of the album. I think it was called like Little Big Man or something like that. But yeah, Ghetto Boys, love them. What's going on, Jerry?
All right, my number 9 is a band from Huntington Park, California. This will probably be on Mark's list too. One of the big four, Slayer. I mean, their first 3 albums, man, Hell Awaits, Rain and Blood, and South of Heaven after that were just, man, just balls out thrash, man. Great, just heart pounding, bust your ears out thrash, man. I love them.
Hell yeah.
They kind of wandered off, I think, in my opinion, after that, but still, man, as far as their first 3 albums are legendary, and they're definitely the second best in the big four, in my opinion.
What?
Oh yeah, definitely better than Megadeth, and a hell of a lot better than Anthrax.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's my number 9 or next or whatever.
They never softened their sound either, man.
Nope.
Well, they did. Well, on the Obelisk, they do consider that a little bit of a new metal kind of tinge to it, but it's still heavy, dude.
I'd like to hear a Slayer power ballad.
Well, South to Heaven was like the first album where it had like a clean guitar sound on one of the songs.
Dude, and Dave Lombardo, man, what a drummer, dude. I mean, amazing skill. I mean, not just fast, but talented. I mean,
Dave
all the
Lombardo
rolls and shit he did. It's just his hand speed was just amazing.
Yeah, his drumming is phenomenal, man.
Kerry King and Tom Hanneman, great guitar players. Rest in peace, Tom. Or Jeff, excuse me. I think of Tom Hamilton from Aerosmith.
That was Slayer. I never got into them until I saw them live. They were playing a festival, and I said, "Well, I might as well. I'm right here. I don't want to move." And I was like, "Wow, I've been missing out. These dudes were so good." So of course I went home and went back, and so I saw them twice after that. I mean, they were just so good live. And I never would have guessed it,
I can't find it. Boo.
But yeah, good pick.
Mark was looking for a Slayer album.
No, I was looking for a new band.
Actually.
I don't have Slayer an album, but I got this compilation called the
Metal Blade? Yeah.
Metal Blade. And they are on here. Slayer's Haunting the Chapel.
Great song.
That song that
A lot of legendary
Chemical Warfare was off.
A lot of legendary bands got their start on that compilations, man.
Yeah.
I bought 2 digital things of Slayer for James West to play on the radio show on Tuesday nights. I bought the EP and Rain and Blood. So he wants me to buy them all. I go, dude, give me the money then. I bought these for you because it was your birthday, so I could play it for you on your birthday. No, I'm not.
Hey, my birthday's on Monday. Buy some Ghost.
Go fucking.
Your birthday's on Monday, Jerry? Well, happy early birthday.
51, man. Jesus. Where did it all go?
I've been 51 since October. I beat you.
What's your next one, Mark?
A new band out of LA called Starcrawler. Their third album is going to be coming out in September. Freaking great punk pop. It's not, I can't call them pop. They're more new, like, I don't know how to describe it. But the girl is fucking amazing singer. They have some good riffs. Great freaking band. We reviewed them on the Freeform Rock podcast, their debut album. I was looking for the album so you could see who she is, but
I know you sent me a couple of her songs and they are very good. Man. I like
Starcrawler rules. I'm trying to put some new bands in here, so I don't want to be all crusty with my bands like a lot of people are. Get off my lawn. You can't listen to new music. Lee, shut up, Lee. Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think you put some stuff out there from them, and I heard some stuff, and it was pretty good. Pretty good.
I put an interview on the podcast. They did an interview in a New York radio station and talk about them, so it's pretty cool before the podcast started.
So Starcrawler, good one. Al?
I'm going to go with from Middletown, New Jersey, progressive power metal band Symphony X. They got in the wake of Dream Theater Dream Theater really kickstarted that whole progressive metal movement in the 90s, and Symphony X was pretty much kind of right after them. And Michael Romeo, the guitar player, is like just a phenomenal player. He fucking gives like Yngwie a run for his money, and but like to me more melodic and just killer. And Russell Allen, the singer, has some great pipes, man. He sings for he does the tours for Trans-Siberian Orchestra here on the East Coast. Yeah, he's one of the vocalists for that band, and he did another band called Adrenaline Mob, which was a cool band, kind of a super group. And,
I think I've heard of them, Adrenaline Mob.
Yeah, but phenomenal, man. If you like progressive metal, they're solid, man. Their discography is pretty solid, and they're
Symphony X.
Symphony X, yes.
I've heard them, but I've never heard them, so I want to check. I'm going to write that down.
Yeah, check them out. I mean, if you like some Dream Theater and that type,
I love Dream Theater, dude.
Yeah, you'll dig them then, man.
I'm still hoping my Mangini will bow out and bring up back Portnoy.
Well, Portnoy's supposed to be touring with Petrucci, man.
Yeah, they've been, and what's his name? The singer said him and Portnoy, he came to the show, the Dream Theater show, and they spoke backstage and they solved all their problems.
Yeah,
so, freaking cool.
I don't know. I mean, that might not mean anything, though. But
yeah.
So, what kind of issues were they having?
Portnoy left the band.
Yeah, but like why? He just
Mike Portnoy. The issue here was not to dwell on this too long. Mike Portnoy actually he wanted to take some time off, and he wanted the band to kind of go on a little bit of a hiatus, probably like a year or something. And James LaBrie was like, "No, I want to keep going." I think it was a band decision. I think it was 5 guys in the band. I think 4 guys still wanted to keep going, and ended up, Portnoy ended up leaving. They just kind of pushed him out. But Portnoy does fucking like 200 bands. I mean, it's like
you want one of them.
Yeah. Hey,
listen, he got Flying Colors, didn't he?
Yeah, he did Flying Colors. He does.
He's in the Winery Dogs too.
Winery Dogs
are making a new album right now.
So, yeah, but I mean, Symphony X. If you like progressive metal, check them out.
Yeah, I've got Symphony X on order, and the Ghetto Boy is on order right now.
You just ordered them?
Yeah.
Send me some money. I need some more.
Yeah, last time I got, like I said, Kate got me on the Blind Melon, and
Blind Melon.
Yeah.
Jeez, man, at least sample them on YouTube or something.
I think Galaxy is one of the best songs ever by Blind Melon. That's just my opinion. I love that song.
So that's my number 9.
Yeah. In fact, speaking of putting, I'm putting all my music on my phone. Right now, I'm up to 4,000 songs, and I'm only on the letter C.
4,000. That's it.
Yeah, but I'm just on the letter C.
I got to see how many I have now.
Hey, what's going on with you?
I wanted to go with Motor City 5, so MC5.
Nice. Kick out the jam.
So,
I never knew that was what they stood for, but I know the band MC5.
Yeah, Motor City 5. So MC5.
Very influential.
Very influential yet controversial. Lots of political stuff. They're still very political. They're actually playing in Detroit soon again. They're back together.
Really?
The lead singer is gone. He passed away in 1991, I want to say, but the other guys like Wayne Kramer and those guys are still together, and they still play live stuff. So founded out of Lincoln Park, Michigan. So my list is kind of like all over Michigan is what I wanted to try and do. Lincoln Park, they had a thing that I thought Andy would get a kick out of, that they were doing a Vietnam protest rally, that they were doing a show, and Neil Young was supposed to play. So Neil Young actually showed up, which like a bunch of other musicians didn't even show. And then with all the chaos, Neil Young didn't even end up playing it. They formed in 1968. They're still working present day. I got a kick out of this though, because my copy is pretty thrashed. But someone went through and redacted stuff, because this says "kick out the jams, motherfuckers."
Wow.
It's like someone's parent got that for them and then scribbled it out with a Sharpie, so I thought that was pretty funny when I opened that.
Isn't that a huge influence on Iggy Pop too?
Yeah, yep. So,
Yeah.
and we'll talk about him too, but that,
Oh,
yeah, huge
nice.
influence on Iggy Pop. The liner notes were so controversial that, like, when this album came out, they wouldn't even stock it at Hudson's because it said motherfuckers. And then, like, the live recording thing where someone read this, they had to change it to brothers and sisters. So that made me laugh when I was reading about this. I was like, oh boy, they were so worried about them saying that. But they obviously didn't listen to any of the music. They just were that concerned about the liner notes.
Yeah.
Sounds like Walmart.
Yeah, exactly. They're funny about their stuff. But then they'll put out that album, I think it's like Lord or someone, and she's like walking and it's like an upshot of her hoo-ha. So they just put like a little sticker over it.
Right. Yeah. In fact, it's so funny you say that about brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
There's a live album by Blue Oyster Cult, and they cover that song, that song, and they start off with "Kick Out the Jams, Brothers and Sisters."
Oh my gosh.
So that's how they start off that track.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
And
so
I never knew that
about
M stood for Motor City.
I never
yeah,
did
Motor
either.
City. Yeah. Yep.
I just thought it stood for microphone, whatever. That's awesome.
Yeah, I don't know. They're a trip. They're pretty abrasive. So for anybody who doesn't know them, if you're looking them up, like, yeah, give it a chance.
I wonder if Walmart has that album and they cut it like they did freaking Guns
Funny, I
N'
never
Roses.
see this like repressed anywhere, so I don't know. It's hard to find a nice copy. My copy's pretty hit, but
I only have it on CD. I don't have to find a lot of that.
it's one of those bands. I feel like a lot of the bands that were like that at the time, it's harder to find a nice copy because people listening to them probably didn't take the best care of their albums.
Right.
But
it's like they're out to get me. I'm bleeping innocent.
Oh my gosh. I just
the
thought
Walmart
that was
copy
the
of
funniest
Appetite.
thing. It was that, the motherfuckers thing, and then there's another redacted part.
Yeah, we need to find you. We need to go. We need to find you a new copy of that.
They live together, work together, eat together, fuck together, and someone crossed out the fuck too. Oh, like,
yeah, we need to go on Discogs and find you a good copy of that.
So, how many albums did they make?
You know, I honestly don't even know. I could look it up really quick, but
go for it.
That one's the big one. This one's cool because it was actually a live recording. So their producer thought that they did best, like recording in front of like a receptive audience, you know. So this is over the 30th and the 31st, so over Halloween, that they recorded this, and that was like their biggest breakthrough, was doing a live one like that, and that's what they wanted to put out.
Is Wayne Kramer the only one alive from that band?
There's a few of the other guys are still alive. I think only the lead singer is the only one that's gone.
Okay.
Yeah, he died of a heart attack. I don't know. Hang on, I'll get back to you with the albums. I'm trying to look.
I'll just move on. My next one. You know, I come from Texas, so there's going to be a little bit of country spread throughout here. My next one's going to be George Strait.
Okay.
He came out in 80, 81 with a great album called Straight Country, and man, he's just a country hit maker, especially there in the 80s, 90s through the 2000s. I think he's semi-retired, but I've seen him several times.
He's a cool dude, man. I told you the story about George Strait, what he did with his fans. His man was trying to get him on, and he wouldn't leave till he signed everybody's autographs.
Yeah, and I think I mentioned this the other day, but I heard on XM, him and his band did a cover of Tom Petty's "You Wreck Me," which was pretty cool. You don't expect that coming from George Strait. So that was pretty cool. So George Strait is my number 9. In the 90s here in Corpus, he was everywhere. I mean, here in Texas, he was everywhere. You couldn't escape him. Even if you listen to different genres, George Strait was going to be somewhere throughout the day.
Yeah, he's just him and Garth, man.
Yeah, Garth.
Dude, Garth.
My wife is a big Garth fan, so we've gone to his couple of those tours that he's been
mega shows.
Yeah,
I only like the Thunder Rolls. That's it.
I love his version of Hard Luck Woman, man. I thought he did a pretty good job.
I hate Peter Criss, so
I know.
but like songs like Oh well, I'm not talking about him, but
Andy,
Amarillo, huh?
Oh, go ahead. Finish what you're saying.
Like songs by George Strait, like Amarillo by Morning.
Amarillo by Morning.
And all my exes live in Texas. That's why I
like
live
that
in
song.
Tennessee. That's a pretty cool song. All right. Jerry, what's your next one?
My next band is out of Sacramento, California. This will definitely be on Mark's list, I think. Seriously, this time. It's Tesla. I mean,
yes.
Great. I mean, Mechanical Resonance was probably one of the best debut albums ever, and I forgot to mention that when we did the debut album show, which I still
and somebody else did. I even texted you.
But man, what an impact album that was, in my opinion, dude. Just
that was Brad that did that,
and not a bad song on it. From first
Brad. I like Brad.
Brad's my guy.
I should hang out with Brad because he remembered Tesla. Their new song is really good, Cold Blood Steel too. So better than that last album.
Yeah, people give them shit for Shock, but that's okay. They got
There's 5 good songs on that album.
Yeah, but anyway, that's my next band. This is an all-out great band, dude. Love them.
Yeah,
I was in shock when I heard Shock. I said, "This ain't Tesla. This is Def
Phil
Leppard."
Collins, man, he softened
And
up everything.
I like Def Leppard being Def Leppard, but I don't want Tesla being Def Leppard.
Right, that's fair enough.
Yeah,
and I really like their Reel to Reel, the one that you were talking about last week on your radio show when they did. I think they did 2 albums like that, didn't they?
They had 2, and they had a Best Buy bonus disc.
Oh, did they? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, when I went to see them when they were touring on that, so
they get those out for free.
Yeah, when you walked in, they actually gave you the second disc.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Because I got the disc, and then it had it was just one disc, but I had a slot for the second one. And when I went to the show, they gave you the second one, so I just put it right in the. It's kind of a weird thing, but it's kind of cool. You got a free disc.
Yeah, you're like, oh, you're all like, I needed this thing.
I'm in, man. I'm all in.
When I bought tickets for This House Is Not For Sale by Bon Jovi, they sent me the free CD. That was pretty cool. That was the last good album because that 2020 album sucked.
It seems like, the last couple of years, like artists were doing that, and now they stopped kind of doing it again.
Metallica did that too for Hardwired.
Yeah,
because I got my Hardwired that way. I bought my ticket, and they mailed me a CD.
Yeah, Bon Jovi mailed me 2 CDs because I had 2 tickets. But I like This House Is Not For Sale.
I've never heard of that before. They do that? I never heard of that.
Yeah, they started doing that. This House Is Not For Sale is a great album, and I go, what the F happened to 2020? It's like a sea change here. Like John lost his voice during COVID. I don't know what happened
during COVID. Yeah, but that was their last good one. I really like that one. But 2020, I tried to like it. I
listened to it on Amazon Music, and I'm glad I didn't buy it. I can't take it.
No.
I was like going,
and I think he likes it that way now. I think he likes.
I saw that tour, and he was great live, and now I see the new tour, and he's like, "What happened between 4 years? What happened?"
There could be a big difference in those few years.
Yeah, those videos were pretty painful, man. Like, dude.
Oh my god.
Yeah, the ones that were coming out of him.
Maybe he's like Vince Neil. He'll get better and better and better because Vince Neil's been getting way better on the stadium tour. Yeah.
So what's your next one, Mark?
My next one is a band out of Long Beach, California. One of the newer bands. It's huge in Europe, but America sucks. Doesn't give them fucking props. Rival Sons, man.
Great band.
Rival Sons. Jay Buchanan has a voice that is like it's like Jim Morrison fucking transcended. It's like, my God, this guy can sing blues, pop, rock. He can sing metal. The guy and the guitar player, man, Scott Holiday, fucking rips. And the drummer, Miley. I got this band. I need to see this band live. And they opened up for Black Sabbath on the end tour. My God, and they were getting rave reviews on that. But in Europe, they sell out like Alter Bridge. And it's like, what's wrong with you, America? Stop watching fucking WAP.
Yeah, no shit.
God dang, man. You're fucking selling out these concerts that don't deserve to be sold out. Get to some real music again, America. I'm sorry. America, you suck. All right. I love Rival Sons.
And we have all these American bands having to go abroad to make it.
I know. It's like Jimi Hendrix. You know, Jimi Hendrix went to England and got more love in England than he did here. What the fuck is wrong with America? It's been like this for years. It's like, let's move on to the next best thing. It's like, God damn.
Pretenders had to do the same thing because a woman fronting a band, they had to go to London, go to England.
The Pretenders, yeah.
Way back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hey, did you guys see that Sex Pistols thing on Hulu?
No, I didn't. I want to though, but I haven't.
That gave me a new respect with Johnny Rotten. You guys need to watch that, man. He was protesting.
They're very intelligent people.
No. But I'm talking about Johnny Rotten has a huge heart. Yeah. You need to watch it. You'll see it. And I don't know why he's protesting it. It made him look great. I don't know. It's really good miniseries. Watch it, man.
Yeah, I'm in the middle of watching First and 10 again. It's an old HBO show.
I showed you that DVD on one of our shows a year ago, and you said, I don't know that show.
Bullshit. I've always watched that show.
All right, whatever.
All right, Al,
I've been drunk.
What's your name?
Well, a lot of people think this band, they relocated to Long Island, but in fact, they started out in New Jersey, Hohokus, New Jersey, to be exact. And a lot of people don't know that. They, like I said, they think they're a New York band. And really, when they got popular, they were based on New York. But I'm going with Twisted Sister.
Yeah.
Under the Blade. This is a great debut right here.
Yeah.
Them at their heaviest. And as a matter of fact, JJ French's birthday is today. He turned 70.
Happy birthday, Jay.
Damn, 70? Shit.
Yeah, 70, man. He's the soul. He was the founder of this band. So, I mean, he went through numerous lineup changes in the 70s before they got, Dee Snider and the lineup that we came to know and love.
He's another great front man.
But they originated in New Jersey, man. So
people thought that was Ace Frehley, I think, didn't they?
Did you guys see that documentary on that? Pretty good.
On Twisted Sister?
Yeah.
Yeah, great doc. That's a great doc, man. But yeah, man. I mean, everybody knows Twisted Sister, big MTV videos. And, I mean, they relocated to Long Island, and they're known to be like a Long Island band, but they played the Jersey circuit to death, man, before like they really got like recognized and stuff. So they're Jersey.
Nothing was ever cooler than watching Dee Snider walk into that Capitol meeting with pulling out a piece of loose leaf paper.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I've talked about that before, and it's like what a well-read and intelligent person. Like,
yeah,
no idea.
He took him to task on that, man.
Yeah, he schooled him.
Him and Zappa, man. Zappa.
Frank Zappa,
yeah. Zappa schooled him even more.
But now Dee needs to shut the hell up because he's making himself look bad. Just go ahead.
But that's my I ranked that on number 8, so it's Twisted Sister.
That's a good one. And again, I didn't know that they were from Jersey. I always thought they were from New York.
Yeah, I mean, when they got signed and everything, I think they had relocated to New York. So
yeah, but that was their origin.
Yeah. So
that's where they're from. So that's great. Thanks for that, Kate.
So I went with Glenn Frey of the Eagles. He was born in Detroit. Nice. Eagles, I feel like, are a love him or hate him kind of band. I think a lot of people love him, but I love like if you watch The Big Lebowski, he's like, I've had a rough day and I hate the fucking Eagles. So that's what I always think of. Yeah, I love Big Lebowski. Oh my god. Yeah, I'll send you guys a picture. My fiance and I were Walt and the Dude for Halloween one year. But that the Eagles, I mean, think of how many hits they have and how many famous like big album releases, and it's just wild.
The greatest hits, number 1 selling album of all time in America.
It's just crazy. Yeah. But I was looking into this more with them, and it was like they ended up meeting, like Glenn Frey and Don Henley ended up meeting because Linda Ronstadt needed a backing band for a tour, which I never knew that. So you guys all knew that, but I thought that was interesting.
Did you see the Linda Ronstadt documentary?
I need to watch that.
You need to watch that. That covers all of that. I don't like Linda Ronstadt, but I like the documentary. So
I like Linda, man. She's cool.
I
my
love
wife loves her.
Yeah.
Like her Spanish stuff is phenomenal, and like her folky, more soulful stuff. I like the pop stuff. I'm like whatever, but her doing Blue Bayou, it's a Roy Orbison song, but her version of Blue Bayou is like you could shed a tear.
It's a beautiful song.
It's so good. Her voice is phenomenal voice.
Yes.
Yeah. But I thought that was interesting. I never read that before, so that's cool. I'll have to check out that doc though.
Yeah, you need to check out the doc. I don't like her that much. I like a couple songs. But it covers the Spanish. It covers everything.
Yeah.
Even Van Halen gave her props for you're no good.
You're no good. I like that version better. But,
she does a lot of covers, and I was looking through an album of hers that I have. I forgot the name of the album, but she did a cover of Allison by Elvis Costello.
Yeah,
that's pretty good. Even though Elvis Costello's version is top notch.
I know you're a big Elvis Costello guy. I have that album. I need to mail you that. I have that blue or whatever. I have something for you.
I like Pump It Up.
Pump It Up.
But her cover was good too, but it just couldn't beat the original one. But I was very intrigued to hear it, and
Gary Sharon of Extreme and his band Hurt Smile does a cover of Pump It Up, which is really phenomenal.
Oh, yeah, that's a great
There's
song.
Extreme.
Gotta bring up Extreme.
I had to.
I'm going to see Gary Sharon with.
Yeah, I'm kind of not looking forward till tomorrow, but
I'm going to see Gary Sharon with Joe Perry this Saturday.
Yeah, he's doing the Joe Perry project with him.
Yeah, he was talking about that. Joe Perry was talking about that on the
I'll be right back.
Show.
Gary Sharon was talking about it on the Eddie Trunk podcast too.
Oh,
and Extreme's going to have a new album by the end of the year.
I love Extreme. So for the record, that's a great band. I just stand out of your guys' arguments.
I'm not arguing. I'm just giving facts.
Who's hating on Extreme?
A lot of people.
Really? That's funny.
A lot of people on the Rock and Metal Combat podcast page because they follow them. It's like as soon as they say an opinion, everybody has the same opinion as Dr. fucking Ian Wadley.
That's what I love about Mark, man. He's so not a sheep. It's so cool. That's why I love
No, I don't follow, man. I make my own way. I see all these get the same
dumped
opinion.
on a lot. He just sits there and goes back at it. So.
All right, so you said Glenn Frey. My number or my 8th pick, she comes out of Port Arthur, Texas. She really changed the culture in the late 60s. We lost her way too soon, but that's Janis Joplin.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she's I just barely got into her, and I actually like her now.
Oh, I love her voice. Yeah. And you just feel the authenticity of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, I've got a friend, an ex-boss of mine, and in fact, he's in the baseball talk. His name is Paul Guidry for Paul G.
Oh, we talk a lot.
Yeah, he went to school with her, but more with her brother, but he would see her in the halls because they graduated from the same high school. And, of course, after she graduated, she took off and went to San Francisco. But she grew up and went to school there in Port Arthur, Texas. And Port Arthur is a small town. It's almost on the border of Louisiana and Texas. And it's a small town, but, they've got this really neat Port Arthur Museum, and like 90% of it is Janis Joplin. So, that's pretty cool.
Nice.
So that's that's my pick. Is
the album Pearl is just freaking legendary.
Oh, it's fantastic. And man, another one we lost at the age of 27. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Pearl was released after her death.
I don't remember, but I don't.
Or it was close to it.
The Curse of 27.
Yeah. Yeah. Have y'all ever seen that Festival Express?
No.
It's a movie about this festival that they filmed, and they were on a train, and it's the band, the Grateful Dead, and Janis Joplin. They're all on this train together.
Well, you said the Grateful Dead, so I probably would have never tuned in.
And they're going through Canada is what they're doing. They're going on a tour of Canada. And like each stop, they would show, parts of the concert of each band. And then they get back on the train, and party or just to pump to music while they were in the train. It's pretty cool. I enjoyed it. It's called Festival Express. If y'all ever want to look that up.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of Grateful Dead, just to let y'all know.
Then I probably wouldn't watch it.
A lot of band. I like the band.
It's like chalkboard.
That really got me.
I only like Hell in a Bucket. That's it. The only song I like about that, or Casey Jones. That's it.
No, all the casual fans like Touch of Grey. That's it.
Nah, I don't like that song. I think that song's boring.
Go for it, Jerry. What's your next one?
My next one's a band out of San Francisco. They've been in many incarnations of the band. Jefferson Airplane, Jefferson Starship, Mickey Thomas's Starship, but whatever they're called, whatever incarnation they were, I love them. I thought they were a great band, a very important band in that time era.
They really were.
And if there's ever somebody I would love to sit in a room with and listen to stories, it'd be Grace Slick, man.
I would too.
Sit me in a corner with her all day, man, and I'd be in heaven listening to her
I saw
stories,
Starship
man.
in the outfield.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they did the outfield open for them on the Play Deep tour.
But I know Mickey Thomas still toured. There's like two versions of them coming out. Mickey Thomas has, or out there. Mickey Thomas has his own version, and
I don't like the other version.
the other versions I can't remember. I think they call it Airplane or Starship, Jefferson Starship.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I want to see Mickey.
But like I said, great singer, Mickey Thomas, man. I mean, anyway, that's my next band. I mean, just a very cool band, man. I mean,
Mickey Thomas seems like an everyday guy,
Yeah.
And then he fronts this band, It's pretty.
you know that song he did with Elvin Bishop? His voice is incredible. I can't think of the name of it right now.
Yeah, we reviewed that album on the Freeform Rock
Fooled
podcast.
Around and Fell in Love. That's I
Fooled
love his
Around,
voice
Fell
in
in
that
Love,
song.
By Elvin.
Just a very important band for that time period.
I don't think that a song was on there, but we did Strutting His Stuff by Elvin Bishop. It's a pretty good album. I liked it. But speaking of, I had Jefferson Airplane Starship in my thing, but Paul Katner,
Rest in peace.
oh God, he's horrible when he sings.
So, rest in peace.
That's why I took him off. I go, just keep Mickey Thomas and what's that guy who sang?
Oh, he just died recently. Yeah.
Yeah, the guy who sang like on the Octopus album.
Yeah, like Miracles and
Miracles. I like his voice, but I can't stand Power when he goes. He like sounds like he's talking or
Yeah,
whatever.
that song Hearts, the singer when he did solo. I can't think of his name right now.
And then Paul Katner sued Jefferson Starship to take this Jefferson away, and then he made Jefferson Airplane and made a horrible album. I was like, yeah, dude, stop. And he brought Grace Slick back, and it was horrible. But
Marty Ballin was his name.
Marty Ballin was a great singer. I like Marty Ballin. We reviewed Octopus or one of those albums by Marty Ballin on there. But my number 7 is East LA again. Who do you think it is? What are your favorite singers, Jerry? He was in Anthrax.
Oh.
Armored Saint, motherfuckers.
Definitely better than Anthrax, man.
Fuck you. I like Anthrax and John Bush better than.
They are better. They do sound better with him as singer, so I'll give you that.
I didn't know they were from East LA.
Oh, they're from East LA. You got John Bush, you got Joey Berry, you got Gonzo Sandoval, Jeff Duncan, and the late, great Dave Pritchard. Fucking great fucking band. They never put out a bad album. The newer albums just get heavier and heavier and heavier. Punching the Sky is the last album is freaking heavy as shit. My God, this band it's like freaking the Skid Row. You keep getting heavier. Well, not now, but with Sebastian Bach, they kept getting heavier and heavier. This is what Armored Saint is doing, man. And I can't wait to see Wasp and Armored Saint in October. I got tickets for Armored Saint. Wasp is just a secondary to me. I want to see Armored Saint. I want to see the great John Bush. I think him and Dio are the best metal singers of all time.
Wow.
He's good, but I don't know about that one.
John Bush, dude, he could go high, he could go low, he could scream, he could do death metal. That guy could do it. He was even a voiceover guy during when metal was going down. That dude could do anything. He's an amazing vocalist, and he still has his vocals. Yeah. God, I love that band. They're always played on the Freeform Rock Show.
Is Joey Lombardo back with Anthrax?
I had no idea. that they were from there. I really thought that they were out of New York. I really did.
No, Anthrax is out of New York.
Yeah, but I just assumed or thought that Armored Saint was too. I had no idea they were from there.
Yeah, come on, can you deliver?
Well, I think Metallica wanted John Bush for vocalist at one point.
They did because James Hetfield thought he couldn't sing, and he just wanted to play rhythm, and he wanted a vocalist for the band.
That would have been interesting.
Yeah. He did sing with them on, was that 30 or 40 anniversary or whatever they had, where they brought all these people. And Dave Mustaine tells Kirk Hammett, "This is how you play these songs." All right, that's my number 7, Armored Saint.
What's your next one, Al?
All right, man, from Jersey City, New Jersey. This was a staple on the radio when I was a kid growing up, man. I gotta go with Kool and the Gang.
Oh, I love them.
I love Kool and the Gang.
Dude, Kool and the Gang rules, man. They're awesome. It was cool that Van Halen had them open up for them on.
I saw that.
On what was it? Was it the 2007 tour when they reunited with Dave?
It was 2013. I saw them in 2013.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
Dude, fucking. I mean, come on, man. They were a staple on the radio. You know, like so many great songs. Joanna, Ladies' Night, Celebration. Come on, man. They're just.
Come on, Cherish was a great song too, man.
Cherish was a great, yeah.
I mean, there's only 5 or 6 songs we know word for word. You know.
Yeah. And I you know, when I saw them open for Van Halen, a lot of people were groaning. I'm like, dude, this is great that they have a different kind of artist.
I loved it. They were amazing live too, man.
You know that was probably Dave's idea for that, you know, because he likes that kind of stuff. So, which I thought was cool, man. I thought it was cool just to have them instead of like a regular, just hearing same rock for like 4 hours or whatever, you know. It's something different, man. So, you know, it's the way, you know, bills were done back in the day, you know, like you had all these different styles of music.
Yep.
You know? So, but yeah, Kool and the Gang, man. I gotta represent.
I love Kool and the Gang, man.
That's a great pick.
So, Kate, go ahead.
Kate, go for it.
So I looked up the MC5 because I was like, I didn't think they had many albums. They had 2 studio albums and 6 live albums. So,
okay. Yeah, I didn't
going all the way through from like 68 to present.
Did you say 2 studio albums and 6 live albums?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought I heard that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty wild. It's a weird, but that's like their producer said that he just like, you know, he thought they did so much better when they were doing live stuff. So worked out for him.
Yeah.
Sounds like it.
My next one, I wanted to go with Question Mark and the Mysterians. Everybody knows I like weird. They're pretty weird.
Especially at that time.
Yeah, and this is like 1962 is like their debut. They get billed as the garage rock proto punk, which I feel like they're more psych, but I don't know.
They're more pop psych to me.
Yeah, to me they're more psych, but that's what it's.
That's what they bill them as.
Trying to
Especially
figure
with
out
that keyboard.
What are they called again? I'm sorry.
Question Mark and the Mysterians. So you probably know them. Their biggest song was the 96 Teardrops. I don't know if you know that one.
Jerry's gonna order that right now on Amazon.
Yeah. That might be hard to find. They're kind of weird that they were only big for that song and then they kind of fell off the map. So you might not be able to find a
Discogs.
Yeah, I got a Ghetto's Boy CD on there.
Yeah.
But look at the price; it was $25. I'm gonna have to rethink that one.
I'm still looking for
expensive for a CD.
I'm still looking for a Great White fucking Hooked and Roll the Bones by Rush, but it's like $100, $200.
Some of that stuff is
What,
crazy,
on vinyl?
and then they don't.
Yeah, on vinyl.
Yeah,
Well,
the vinyl.
like,
The Rush
yeah.
vinyl's expensive, man.
Oh God!
Rush-
Even
Rush
Clockwork
Gold is
Angels, I
funny.
missed getting that one, and it's like $300 or no.
Yeah, it's wild what vinyl's worth right now, and then especially like how stuff changes price wise. That if it's not repressed anytime, then it's worth so much.
The
more
band
money.
just needs to start repressing it. I'm gonna
I
text
don't know if
Geddy Lee.
Yeah,
I posted on your site, Andy. There's Taylor Swift albums going for $1,300, and people were buying them.
yeah,
What the hell, man?
That was a record.
There was
a
one of
record
her
store day
CDs
thing,
she
right?
offered. Yeah, she had like a bunch of autograph shit that she put out record store day, and her
Record store
CDs were
day
like
ones,
$400 or
yes.
$500 for one.
What the
Unreal.
hell?
Autograph
Dude.
CD.
People were buying them. It's like,
But that's
damn.
like she and Adele and like Beyonce are like the biggest vinyl sellers right now, which is just
Yeah, I'm
mental,
still
but
waiting for
that's,
my
like, a
Z.
huge thing.
Still waiting for my
Unreal.
ZZ Top El Loco I bought 2 years
Mm.
ago, but Experience Vinyl says that Adele stopped all the vinyls were getting pressed.
That's a lot of stuff is delayed because they were having so many shortages. But yeah, it's wild, man. I don't know.
Well, what's his name?
$1,300 for a record.
Jack White is making a record vinyl pressing plant right now, so that's
Yeah,
cool.
he's building a new one in Detroit, so
Yeah.
that'll be really cool. That'll open up a lot of jobs, and like they said they were going to do tours and different stuff with that, so that'll be cool.
Yeah, I don't like you. I'm waiting for that for 2 years, man.
Loco.
It was a 180 gram version too.
No, that's
You'll get it eventually. Did they cancel it, or they just said it's
No, they haven't
back-ordered?
canceled it. I had to look on my PayPal yesterday.
I don't know.
Going down,
It
going down.
could show up that I feel like that shortage isn't as bad right now.
I texted them. I emailed them. They haven't emailed me back.
Yeah.
Where's my El Loco, bitches? No, I didn't say bitches.
my next one is a part of a band, but then he went solo in the 70s, and we lost him probably a few months ago. Mike Nesmith.
Oh yeah.
From the Monkees. He was so important in that band. His guitar playing, his songwriting. He usually had a very country flavored when he went solo. His band was actually called Mike Nesmith and the Nationals. I'm a big Monkey fan. I
love the Monkees.
TV show.
Love the show.
The albums were great. I know that the first two were kind of studio trickery with different musicians and stuff like that. But they took the reins on the third album called Headquarters and so on. They kept they themselves were writing and playing most of the instruments and stuff like that. And then of course, they fell out of favor with the public because their music didn't change that much as they were getting into the late 60s. They had to compete with Hendrix and Cream and the
Beatles.
They were bigger than the Beatles at one time, though.
Yeah, for a while there. They really hung out a lot too. Also the Beatles and the Monkees, especially when they went abroad. Peter Tork was a big person in every aspect with different bands.
Peter played instruments, right? He knew what he was doing, right?
Well, Tork and Nesmith were, and Davy Jones was a Broadway singer.
Yeah.
So they were three. Mickey Dolenz was the one who had to learn how to play the drums. Yeah. So they were actually three musicians and one guy who learned how to be a musician. So
and Mickey Dolenz was part of that the original Vampires of Hollywood, along with Cooper and Lennon and Starr. He would go and party out with them a lot.
Hollywood Vampires.
Yeah.
In the Rainbow Bar Grill.
In the middle of it. That's crazy. You wouldn't think that.
I went up to there. I have a video of me, Edwin, and Vincent Kavanaugh going up to where they partied.
Oh, yeah.
It's small up there, dude. I had to go like this.
It was cool at the end to see Mike Nesmith and Mickey Dolenz do a couple shows together. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. I really wish I would have gone to that. I had tickets, but COVID struck. And it was going to be everything closed down in March. Their show was at the end of April. So we didn't know how big COVID was going to be. So we were thinking, well, maybe in a couple of weeks, things will go back to normal. Maybe in a month. And then they canceled it all together. And here we are, a couple of years down the road, and it's still lingering. But I don't want to talk about that right now. But Mike Nesmith is on my list of artists from Texas.
Nice.
And in fact, I believe his mother or grandmother invented liquid paper.
Yep.
And that's where he got.
That was Romeo and Michelle, wasn't it?
Yeah.
What did Romeo and Michelle invent?
Post-its.
Post-its.
Did you hear the new Brian Davis Damn Good Movie Memories podcast?
Oh yeah, they did about that, didn't they?
Yeah, they were talking about that. I
thought it was a funny movie. So
it's a great movie. I like that movie.
Yeah, that's pretty good. We invented Post-its. Nobody did.
What was cool in that podcast they were going back then, you didn't have phones to fact check them. So you could get away with stuff like that. So that's pretty cool.
And especially just to pick something so random as the inventor of Post-its.
Yeah.
You know? All right, Jerry, go for it. What's your next one?
My next band is from LA, of course, and you don't need to talk about them too much because everybody knows how awesome they were. One of the best souls in rock and roll ever was Jim Morrison. The Doors, man, are just freaking top-notch band. Great songs, awesome lyrics, man. Genius musicians. I mean, you guys can add on to anytime you want about the Doors, but please feel free.
They were my number 2, but they got knocked out.
Just great music, timeless music, man. I mean, it's still fresh today as it was back then. And you think of the Doors and you think of Jim Morrison, man, but Raymond Zarek, frickin'
John Densmore,
frickin' Krieger, man, great band, dude. I mean,
you should hear the review I did on the Rock All Over You podcast with Eddie Conestracci and Eric RMCB Jordan. That was a funny episode.
But those 4 musicians, they just gelled together.
They gelled, man. They gelled.
Yeah.
And
great.
No one else could have played that kind of stuff at that time. No other band were like the Doors or sounded like the Doors.
Right.
They stretched their instrumentation.
They opened up the doors of perception.
Yeah. Hats off to Val Kilmer in that role in that movie.
Oh my God,
awesome. Morrison.
So good.
I had them on my list, but I'm going, you know what? I want to pick bands that people never really talk about. So everybody talks about the Doors. Everybody talks about 3 bands. I thought
they were the best bands, your favorite bands. I mean,
well, they are one of my favorites, but these other bands I put in their place are my favorite bands too.
Oh, okay, well, okay.
So what's your next one, Mark?
My number 6 is Rockin' with Dockin'. If anybody says George Lynch sucks, you suck. Don Dokken had a great Don Dokken, Jeff Pilson, Wild Mick Brown. Freaking what a great band, man. I saw them open up for Aerosmith and they sucked because they were fighting on the fucking tour. They were great. I saw them later with on the Race to Slate tour without George, and they were great. Don was great with them. But freaking that was a great band, man. I still listen to them. They never leave my iPhone. All their albums are on there because they shuffle and they come on. I'm like jamming. It's like I can't get enough of Rockin' with Dockin'. And if Eddie Conestracci was here, he'd go like that to me. We love some Dockin', man. I love Dockin'.
I've only seen them once. That was the Monsters of Rock thing in the 80s, man. You can tell they were falling apart then because George Lynch threw his guitar like twice and broke like two guitars.
George Lynch kept turning up his amp and drowning out Don when I saw them open up for Doc and Aerosmith on the Permanent Vacation tour.
Yeah,
it was. My mom was going, "What the hell's going on?" I go, "I don't know." And I bought the shirt for Doc and not Aerosmith for Back for the Attack because the shirt was cooler.
That's a great album.
Great
album cover with the eagle.
Yeah,
it's like what's the word I'm looking for?
Burning Like a Flame is so catchy.
Heaven Sent, man.
Heaven Sent is my favorite song off that album. Yeah.
And the backing vocals of Jeff Pilson, man. Him and Don's voice together.
Jeff Pilson is a genius. Yeah. He gets no credit for anything. Dude, look, he's running Foreigner. He does the Last in Line. He produced the Last in Line band. He also does that new band with Robin McNally and Red Beach and Matt Starr called what is it?
He stays busy. He does stay busy.
Black Swan. Black Swan rules too. 2 albums with them.
Black Swan.
The dude's a genius.
And he was awesome in the Steel Dragons too.
Steel Dragon. You need to, Andy. You need to check out Black Swan. They have 2 albums. If you like Robin McNally, you know who Robin McNally is?
No, tell me.
You never heard of Shanker McNally? McNally Shanker?
McNally.
You know, he did Anytime.
Robin
Indeed May. Anytime.
I've never heard of them.
Dude, his voice is just
great.
It's like ear candy, dude.
Yeah.
Check out McNally Shanker too. Great voice, man.
It's Macaulay, man.
Whatever. I don't say your name right. I don't say Lee's name right. Whatever. I suck.
Well, no, you're right, though. You're right, Mark. He was a great singer. He was actually in Survivor for a little while, too, wasn't he?
Yeah, they never did an album with him. They brought back Jimmy, and they did Reach was a horrible album.
Gosh, another great singer, Jimmy Jameson.
God, that album they redid with Jimmy Reach was like, oh my God, this is just Ballad City. But it's like, damn.
All right. What's the next for you from Jersey?
Going to the Old Bridge Metal Militia and Overkill.
Yeah,
great band.
Again, I never knew they're from New Jersey. Now I was
New Jersey thrash.
You don't listen to Eddie Trunk?
That's signed. I got a couple discs signed by them.
That's sweet, man.
Signed by them.
Awesome.
Nice.
Signed by them.
I love that album with Pig. God, I love Pig.
The Electric Age, man. I mean,
yeah, that song Pig is amazing.
Yeah, dude. Like, I mean, they've been solid. I mean, they've been solid consistently. You know, I mean, they never really put out a bad album, to be honest.
I wanted to get that box set, but it was expensive.
But I mean, they're still cranking out, man. They're still doing it, man. I mean, and they're from Old Bridge, New Jersey, when the Old Bridge Metal Militia resides. And there's still a Facebook page like dedicated to that, and they're friends with Metallica when Metallica came over here, and
I love the Flying Skull, man. That was great.
Yeah, that's
Vince. I was just gonna say that Vince stole their logo.
Dee Verney, the bass player, he's doing he's actually doing a rockabilly thing right now, which is kind of interesting. So completely out of the metal element, but props to him, man. He's doing something different, But I mean, Overkill, they're just a band you can count on. It's always gonna just do a new album and tour, and they're just a staple around New Jersey, New York area. So, I got to give them props. I mean, if they're just right outside the big four,
that's what I was gonna say.
I knew you were gonna say that. Suck it.
If they expanded it out, you'd have to include, Overkill, Testament, Exodus. To me, Exodus, man. If Bonded by Blood came out before Kill 'Em All, I mean, it would have been a whole different story. Because I think that album was done, it was in the can for a long time, and there was some sort of label thing or something. That's why it came out later. But that album was ahead of its time. It was a classic. But we're not talking about Exodus right now. We're talking about Overkill. But, Years of Decay, man. That's probably might be my favorite album by them. But I mean, Taking Over, Horoscope, solid discography.
I think I bought Horoscope used from Eric Swinson, and I bought that double live album they have too.
Check out Eric Svensson, man. He sells great product for a great price.
Yeah, man. We need to help that guy move. We don't want him to be homeless.
Support your local dealers, man.
Yeah.
Overkill. Kate, what you got?
I was gonna go with Iggy Pop.
I love Iggy.
So Iggy,
Stooges and
James Osterberg Jr. But he got the name Iggy because his first band in high school was called the Iguanas. And then the pop part came later when they started playing as the Psychedelic Stooges. The other band members nicknamed him Pop after some sort of local character, some guy that hung around that he resembled. I don't know. I mean, it's Detroit's credited as birthplace of proto-punk. So an Iggy Pop, of course, is always billed as the grandfather of punk.
I've never seen Iggy live, but every time you see his live concerts, he's always out in the crowd, man.
He's out there. He's wild. He said, I was reading a bunch of stuff about him, his background, and he said he was really inspired by Jim Morrison. So how you were talking about the Doors, and then MC5 was a big inspiration for their lyrics and their style. But he said his stage persona as Iggy Pop was inspired by Morrison being so wild because he'd seen Morrison here live in Detroit. I don't know. He's done so much stuff. Iggy's been all over the place. He's been playing since the 60s, still present.
I always thought Iggy Pop would have been an interesting replacement for Jim Morrison had the Doors.
Oh, if they stuck it out, yeah,
stuck
I
it out and
could
got
see
like,
that. Yeah.
Like, obviously Jim was such a huge part. I mean,
But I could see
help.
that because he was so influenced by Morrison and like his stage persona. He said specifically that it is inspired by Morrison, so I could definitely see that being a thing.
But you know, I mean, he wanted to carve out. I'm sure he wanted to carve out his own thing.
Yeah.
So, but
yeah.
I was lucky enough to see the Stooges. Now I don't know how many were actual members, but I know he popped there, and it was probably about 5 years ago. It was
I think Iggy's the only one left now. I think.
Was it? Man, his shirt was off. His body was all fucked up.
Yeah, he's like think of seeing a picture. He's like one of the few people that when you see a picture of him with a shirt or like a suit on, that it looks weird because you're so used to seeing him shirtless.
Yeah. No matter how tanned or wrinkled up or. My next one is going to be a band that's been in the news lately, Pantera, out of Dallas. You know,
that's what I thought you were going to say.
You're not going to talk about Texas and not talk about Pantera. I saw them countless times, especially in the late 90s and early 2000s. They seem to be here like every month. You know, and I don't know if y'all were able to see them. I'm pretty sure, like Al said he did, you know. You're there watching them and you're cheering for them, and Phil's always putting you down. Okay, all you pussies out there. You're like, okay, what are we doing? You have to put us down, man.
We haven't done anything. We just came to your show.
We give you money, man. But, I mean, they were phenomenal live. And, you know, I was reading today, actually, about how Zakk Wylde had been talking with Vinny before Vinny had passed, of course. That Vinny had wanted him to play if they ever did a tribute for Dimebag, that he wanted Zakk Wylde to take his spot. So that's more fitting, knowing that he's got Vinny's blessing to do this. You know, so it's good that they're doing this, I believe. Now, I might not go see them, but it's good that people that didn't get to see them and these young people that want to go feel this music live, because there's nothing like it, you know, to hear these songs live and to see Phil and Rex live on stage. So, you know, more power to them. Like y'all were saying, you know, it doesn't matter what we say or what we think. You know, there's nothing wrong with good music still being out there and touring, you know, so good for them. But Pantera is just a phenomenal band.
And they replaced it with no slouches. I mean, Zakk Wylde, Charlie Benante, man, top fucking musicians.
Yeah, Charlie Benante with the guy from Slayer, the best drummers.
Yeah, and to me, Pantera,
Lombardo,
is that I really get. That's kind of my limit in heaviness is Pantera. So that's my number 6, I believe.
I've been listening to the Butcher Babies, man. That's some good shit too. That's pretty hard shit. Stupid Nate Atchison got me into that shit. All right, go ahead.
Gary?
My next one is a band from LA. We talked about them a little earlier. Glenn Frey. I love the Eagles, man. They're a great band. I mean, Don Henley might sue me just for mentioning their name on this podcast, but you know,
we mentioned Metallica too. We're probably getting sued twice.
It's okay because Don Henley stopped listening to us.
You never know, man. You're not going to get me assist order tomorrow, man.
So. I love Don Henley,
but you know what? I mean, all seriousness, man. I mean, just magic when Glenn and Don met, man. With how awesome their harmonies were and their songwriting together, just impeccable, man. You know, they got better when they added Joe Walsh to the group.
I think so.
And you know, Don Felder, I know him and Glenn Frey had issues, but man, Don Felder was a great guitar player. I would take Don Felder over Joe any day, man, as far as guitar playing. But you know, great band. I mean, great songs. Everybody knows at least at least 10 songs from the Eagles, man. I mean, at least that, you know. Anyway, that's fine.
Sure.
They were in my top 10, but I took them out because I wanted to put bands that nobody talks about.
And even they still sound good. I mean, I can't go to them because I can't afford to pay $10,000 to see a ticket.
I don't want to go either.
I would love to see him.
I was offered a free ticket, but we were somewhere else, and I was like, damn.
Man. I mean, hats off to Vince Gill, man. He's been singing he sounds good with them, dude. And I can't think of Glenn Frey's son.
Glenn Frey's son left, though.
I thought he came back, though, didn't he?
No, he left.
No,
okay. But anyway, I mean, hats off to Vince, man. He does a good job singing some of those songs. So, and Timothy B. Schmidt, man, what a singer he is, dude. You know.
Yeah, that's a good band. Yeah. What do you got going on, Mark?
Well, Jerry already mentioned him, Tesla, and he mentioned them, so I axed out Rat. So I forgot about Tesla. What's wrong with me?
See, it happened to you now too. So we're even. So
I took out Rat. Rat was there, but Rat's not in there now. It's Tesla. Of course, Tesla's back. And I just saw another band right now, but I'm not going to move them in there. But Huey Lewis and these I would have moved in there too, but I'm not moving them in. But Tesla is just amazing, dude, with Tommy Skeoch and freaking Frank Hannon. Again, did you realize that the producer of the first Tesla album wanted to take the drummer out?
Troy Luccketta.
You want to take Troy Luccketta out of the fucking band?
That's ridiculous.
What the fuck is up with that guy? Troy Lucketta's out of the band right now. He's doing other shit, but he'll be back. But that's just bullshit. Great drummer, great band. Again, Brian Wheat's a phenomenal bass player. They're all great songwriters. Great band. I love them.
I didn't mention the great radio controversy. What a great record that is too, man. I mean,
I'm just saying, Tesla's made better albums than Guns N' Roses, but Guns N' Roses gets recognition for freaking one album.
Yeah, I'll grant you that.
Just sucks.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's the way the media goes sometimes.
Yeah.
You know,
because they were the bad boys. You know, Tesla was just
what's up with the Sex Pistols, man. They're more.
Tesla was straight out rock and roll, and Axl Rose was controversy. They were all drugged out, so everybody, let's go for the druggies.
What do you got going on now? What's your next one?
Their singer may have been Canadian, but they were out of Toms River, New Jersey, and that's Skid Row.
Oh, nice.
So they're a New Jersey-based band.
Yes, they are.
That band I knew was from New Jersey.
Toms River, New Jersey, as a matter of fact. But then, they toured. They did the Jersey circuit. I guess Bon Jovi kind of helped them out.
I'll be right back.
And I believe Dave the Snake Sabo, I think he played with helped Bon Jovi out a little while, I think, early on. Mm-hmm. But yeah, man, Skid Row, dude. I mean, I remember when they first came out in '89. I was a senior in high school, and that first album really blew up. But then, like, Slave to the Grind, man, it was like, holy shit.
Total different, man.
Yeah, these guys got really heavy, dude. And that was the first album to debut at #1, first metal album on the Billboard charts. And that's when the SoundScan era began as well. So, that was like, true album sales, and they debuted at #1. And then they got even heavier with the third album, Subhuman Race, which is the last with Sebastian. But those first 3 albums, though, man, just killer. And I mean, they did some solid stuff afterwards. I just heard some stuff, with the new singer, and he's great.
He's not bad. Yeah, he's pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited to hear what this whole album's going to sound like.
Yeah, I'm really interested because I love The Gang's All Here. That first single is really good. Kind of a throwback, really, to old school.
To that.
And, but yeah, man, I mean, Skid Row, they're a staple in New Jersey. They're big, so that's my number 5.
Unfortunately, I don't think you're ever going to see Sebastian back with them, though.
No, they're never going to reunite.
Never going to happen.
He's a dick.
Yeah.
And they both moved on.
Listen, man, I think,
he wasn't even in the Gilmore Girls reunion.
I just want to know what he's seen. Everybody's talking about that new lead singer. I want to know his opinion on it. I'm surprised he hasn't tweeted on that yet.
The thing is that a lot of these singers that replace well-known singers, it sucks that they have to hear this because they're trying to work things out. They're trying to get their career going, and they always have to hear about, oh, well, so-and-so 20 years ago. You're like, you know.
Yeah, the singer is definitely the most probably pressures, thing to replace, I think, in a band. Yeah.
I saw Sebastian last year. He was doing the Slave to the Grind anniversary thing where he was playing the whole album.
And
he was good, man. I mean, he was still good.
His solo albums are great. Angel Down and all those albums are pretty damn good.
But he's Canadian.
Yeah. And he's a huge Kiss fan, so I won't slide him on that one.
He's a huge Rush fan, so it's
Oh, I know. He says himself.
He's really a big music fan and a very that he knows a lot about music that's going on.
If you ever get a chance, like there's a great series on YouTube that Amoeba Record Stores in California does. What's in My Bag? And they're different artists, like they follow them around shopping for like vinyl and CDs or whatever, and they talk about like what's in my bag. So they'll pull the albums out and they'll talk about it. The one with Sebastian's pretty funny. So if you can pull that one up.
I know I still haven't went to Amoeba in Hollywood. I'm stupid.
Yeah, what's in my bag is a cool series from Amoeba on YouTube. So check that out.
But I do have a Rhino Records down the street. So,
Kate, what you got?
I went kind of random and back in time and did Bill Haley and his Comets.
Oh,
nice.
Hey, man, it's the beginning of rock and roll right
there. Yeah, and I was thinking about that, and I was like, damn, that's
and it makes me
wild that's yeah, I could, yep. I was just thinking how wild it is to think about
3 or 4 years.
What'd you say?
They predated Ellis about 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. First rock and roll band to be on what was it? It's my brain just went
American
Ed Sullivan. So the first rock and roll band to be on Ed Sullivan, first rock and roll band to have any gold records for record sales. Originated in Highland Park, Michigan. So I wanted to shout that out because it's kind of a weird little town that's outside of Detroit.
Wasn't there recently a shooting there too?
There's a
shooting in every city.
That's Detroit, Highland Park, all the surrounding. It's interesting around here.
Yeah, you're in a very not so safe environment.
I don't know. You never know. I mean, it's just a weird. The urban sprawl is bizarre. You definitely see some things. Yeah, I don't know, but. Going back to Bill Haley and thinking about this is like you guys said, this is predating Elvis and everything for like a rock and roll group. He was posthumously inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And I was thinking about this. I never knew this, that I was looking at him and he had mastoid surgery as a child and they accidentally severed his optic nerve, so his left eye for the rest of his life after 4 he was blind. And he kind of, you can tell it's like a little bit different if you really look at a picture. He's like not normal symmetric vision, so he always put the curl on his right eye to distract from his left eye. So I don't know, I thought that was interesting. But I bill this as like one of the first rockabilly bands too, so not just rock and roll, but the start of rockabilly to me is awesome, that they would do some country stuff. They had rockabilly, they had like regular rock and roll. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's a fun band that I don't think of very much, but I love, obviously, their big hits, Rock Around the Clock. And that's, I don't know, that is one of those songs you can put on and you're like, yes, like never, I don't know.
The original theme song of Happy Days.
Great that you mentioned the band, dude. Keep these bands alive, man. Keep them going.
Yeah, what I was thinking about, I saw that and I was like, I didn't know he was from Michigan. Like, I had no idea. And especially a small town like Highland Park, and looking this up and finding all these different things. Because, like, I didn't mention it that, like, Iggy Pop was from Muskegon. So that's kind of a random city in Michigan. And then he moved to Ann Arbor and started doing music in Ann Arbor, which Ann Arbor, obviously, everyone knows because it's like almost as big of a name as Detroit, I feel like. But thinking about these bands that in their day, that was such a huge band. And at the time to sell, it's like 60 million records worldwide, and he had a gold record in Britain and gold records in Germany at the time. I was like, that's pretty wild to think about. So I don't know. Yeah. Bill Haley and his Comets, who also were Bill Haley, and he had a couple different names. It was like Bill Haley and What's His Comets or something like that. Like it had a bunch of different names.
I got an album of his back here. I just can't find it.
Oh, that's nice. That's awesome.
Yeah. I just can't find it. I don't know if it's under B for Bill or H for Haley or C for Comets.
Comets. Well, if you're in the C's, you'll figure it out soon because you're going through your C's.
Soon enough, I'll find it eventually, and then I'll share a pic with you. As I said before, Texas and country go hand in hand. My next one's going to be Willie Nelson. Yes. I've seen him several times. In fact, just this past he always has a 4th of July picnic. It's a family picnic where it's he has eclectic bands with him. Like this last time around, it was I can't think of the name, and I'm not going to dwell on it. But he always has not just country bands, but rock bands, alternative bands, just all these different bands that go to his ranch, and they have a 4th of July picnic out there. This 4th of July picnic used to tour around Texas. I was able to go to a couple of them, which was really cool. But Willie Nelson, he's already I think he's about 81 or 82. And he's still touring. My friend just saw him a couple weeks ago. The playlist stays the same as it has in the 80s. His playlist hasn't changed at all.
I'm telling you, man, good weed will keep you alive, man.
Yeah, and he's still there doing it,
Yeah.
He doesn't go far that much anymore. He usually stays around the state of Texas and just goes to areas around his home and stuff like that. But have any of y'all seen him?
No.
No, I had tickets to see him one time here in New Jersey a couple of years ago, and I ended up I couldn't go. I gave the tickets to a friend of mine, but I kind of would like to see him once. He's kind of a bucket list thing. He's a legend, that guy, dude.
Yeah.
Did you hear that story Sebastian Bach said about Willie Nelson on the Eddie Trunk podcast?
Oh, yeah. I heard that.
He took his mom to see Willie Nelson.
Yes.
And they went back to the bus and they were all smoking out. And he goes, "Come on." And he goes, "Oh, Willie, I can't smoke anymore." And his mom was smoking with Willie.
I wonder if it's true if he sparked up in the White House.
Probably.
Have y'all heard that?
Yeah, he probably did.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Why
He's a
not?
wild. I mean, you always talk about these rock stars that are wild, bro. I mean, he was a wild man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I've never seen him live, but I used to watch those Farm Aid shows that he used to do with John Cougar. Those are pretty cool.
Yeah, that's where Sammy Hagar debuted with Van Halen.
Yeah. Didn't know any songs.
I'm sorry. You know what? I did see him. That's right. Now that Jerry brought up Farm Aid, I went to one of those, so I did see him.
Oh, did you go to a Farm Aid?
Yes.
Dude, that's awesome. I've always wanted to go to one.
Yeah, there was one here in Randall's Island. I think this is going back to 2007. So it was it was him. It was Neil Young with his wife.
Mellencamp.
I think it was like Dave Matthews and John Mellencamp and all those guys that did Farm Aid. So I did. I think now that you mention it, that's jogged my memory. I did see him.
Yeah, because
they all do short. They all do short set lists because there's a lot of artists. But yeah, it was cool.
Yeah. Was it one day or two, Al?
I think this was a one day.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah. I still have a T-shirt too. They were actually cool. They were actually giving out T-shirts for that. You didn't have to buy it. Yeah, that's cool. Awesome. I have to pull that.
I've always wanted to go to a farm. That's
awesome. Fun. Yep.
Yeah, that would be a lot of fun because just to see those 3 or 4, that's good enough right there. Yeah. What's going on, Jerry? What do you got? What's next on your list?
My next band is out of San Francisco. It's a band I have to thank Mark for getting me back into them because I kind of lost interest in them when they fired Jeff Watson. It's Night Ranger, man. I mean,
they're on my list somewhere.
They are just an incredible band, dude. I mean, to me, there was one of the best combinations was Brad and Jeff, man.
Oh yeah,
I think Jeff got the short end of the stick in that deal, but it doesn't take away from what they did together, man, with Dawn Patrol, Midnight Madness, Seven Wishes, and so forth and so forth. And Mark got me back into the newer Night Rangers, man. It's fantastic. I love it, man. Good stuff.
I haven't heard I didn't hear the last album, but I mean, I know the.
Oh, dude, it's one of the best albums.
And the band played on is amazing, dude.
I know Somewhere in California was great. You know, they put out some really solid stuff, man.
That was my first concert I ever went to. Tony Carey opened up for him. I remember that. It was really cool. It was fun.
Yeah, they haven't put out a bad album, man. The album
Jack
before
Blades,
and the band played on.
Jack Blades is incredible.
I'm a huge Jack Blade. His 2 solo albums are amazing too.
I mean, these guys played with everybody too.
Plus, Damn Yankees.
Damn Yankees, yeah.
But anyway, that's another.
That's cool a band. That's a band that needs to reunite.
Yes, I see them twice live. They opened up for Bad Company.
I never got to see them, unfortunately.
Holy Water Bad Company tour.
I don't think Styx ever stops touring. I don't think Tommy'd have the time.
Well, like I said, man, they should just do a Styx, Night Ranger, and Ted Nugent joint.
That would fucking be awesome, dude.
And do an encore of Damn Yankees, man. You know, that's the only way you're gonna get. Everybody's like, oh, scheduling. Well, then fucking tour together.
Michael Catalani's with freaking Leonard Skinner. They don't seem like they're
throw him in a mix too.
Yeah.
It'd be like
great. Wouldn't that be a great
festival or something?
Leonard Skinner, that'd be awesome. Have all those bands together. I would see that.
Okay, yeah, Nuge, fucking Night Ranger, and Styx, and
Leonard Skinner. Be awesome. Bring some Mario Speedwagon in there too. Make a day of it.
Speaking of, Ted Nugent is going to be here next week.
Nice.
Is live playing?
Huh? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What now? I'm sorry. Did you say playing?
Yeah, he's doing a concert.
Yeah. Next Saturday.
Cool.
At Warehouse Live, but I'm going to a party, so unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to make it.
But I mean, they were a hit maker in the '80s, man. They still make kick-ass music. I don't know who was their second guitar player now, Mark.
Kerry Kelly.
Yeah, Kerry.
Yeah.
But they still.
I have their guitar. I have freaking Gillis's guitar pick and his guitar pick when I saw them do. They did just before the pandemic. I saw them live, and they did what was it? They did Midnight Madness and Dawn Patrol live, and
I saw that too.
Wow, that was great.
Yeah, they did both albums.
And then they added like 4 a.m. at the end.
And I love bands that have more than one singer, man. Kelly Keegan, man, great drummer, great singer.
I like how they have him on the side of the stage, so he's kind of front and center. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And one thing about them, man, is everybody. I mean, the first 2 albums are classic, but I think Seven Wishes is a real underrated album.
Seven Wishes is great.
Yeah.
Rise to the Sun with 7 Wishes. Dun, dun, dun. I like freaking the one with Secret of My Success. I like Big Life. I love freaking Rain Comes Crashing Down.
And Man Emotions.
I think Man Emotions is a great album too.
Yeah.
They
had a great run, man.
They still having a great run too.
Yeah, and the band played on is probably my 3rd favorite album by me.
Yeah, it's great. Great album.
Wow. I'm missing a lot then because I stopped listening to them after a point.
Yeah, Somewhere in California, dude. You need to get that album. You need to get And the Band Played On. You need to get Don't Let Up, the album before the new album. Don't Let Up. It's a great album too. Me and Lee did a review on that one.
I just bought a whole bunch of their newer CDs that's on the way. So
I know I told you to get those. I tagged you. Get them. He's selling the Night Rangers. You get the DVDs. I don't got the DVDs.
Steelheart CD.
I don't like Steelheart, but
So what's the next one, Mark?
YNT. The great Dave Mendicetti, Joey Owls, Phil Kinnemore, and freaking Leonard Hayes. The original member. Rest in peace, all 3 of those guys. My God.
Oakland, I believe, right?
Huh?
Mendicetti's the only one left.
Mendicetti's, and he had a cancer scare, and he had to cancel they had to cancel the tour in Europe because he's still recovering from his cancer. But they just played a concert up north. Like, I saw the set list. They go, "You didn't play that 2 years ago when you were here. I want to hear this. I wanted to hear Rock and Roll is Gonna Save the World. That's one of my favorite songs by them." And they played it up there. It's like, you bastards.
They're one of the bands I think of early MTV Summertime Girls watching that video.
I did that. Fuck that song.
I'm just saying, I'm talking about the early days of MTV when they
Black Tiger, their original when they were Yesterday.
Contagious, that's a great song.
10 is a great album. Lucy, the song Lucy.
I'm just saying, back in the day, man, MTV, I remember.
Yeah.
Dave
MTV was cool at one time, people.
Dave Meniketti can shred better than just as good as Eddie Van Halen. I'm going to say that. I'm out there. Dave Meniketti.
That's a bold statement there, buddy.
Dude, Dave Meniketti can play. I seen him live. I put up videos on a freeform YouTube of him playing. Check him out. He rules in a club. Close up. Fucking great. The band he has now is just amazing. But fuck, I missed the 3 members that passed away. Did you guys see the Y&T documentary?
I haven't seen that yet either. I want to see that.
I bought it on Blu-ray. It's great, dude. You got to see that. Eddie Trunk is in there too. My God, you see, they have interviews of the members who died before they died. You need Alves is in there.
I didn't know that all 3 of them were dead already. I
all dead. Even Leonard Hayes is in there. They got them just before they passed, man. You need to see that interview. It's a fucking great. It's one of the best documentaries I've seen in years.
Wow.
Fucking Y&T rules. They're underrated. They should have been bigger. And the management fucked them up, and the record company, fucking A&M, dude. A&M was horrible with hard rock bands, metal bands. They fucked them up. But Y&T, man, if Dave comes to your town, you need to see them.
Yep.
Nice.
Well, from Lodi, New Jersey, I'm gonna lump the 3 bands that this guy was in into one, which is Glenn Danzig, Misfits. Sam Hain, Danzig, guy did it, punk, metal. He even did an Elvis covers album.
He looks like Elvis now.
But I mean, no, dude. I mean, what a runner, and Misfits, they were one of the first, punk bands to sing about horror stuff, and
campy stuff. Yeah.
You see little girls with a shirt on, and they don't even know who the band is. It's just sad.
I hate that, man. I hate that.
Their T-shirts are up
iconic.
there with the Ramones and Motorhead. With people wearing their shirts without even knowing who the fuck they are.
Van Halen,
Kardashians.
And right now it's Nirvana. I see Nirvana a lot everywhere right now.
I was at work one time, and this girl came up with not the wings, not the rings. Everybody goes the original Van Halen thing. And I look at my friend Janet. I go, she doesn't know who that band is. How do you know? I don't. She does not know that band. So she comes up and she asks her, "What's your favorite song by Van Halen?" Oh, I just like the shirt. I was like, well, why did you even ask? I already told you. She wanted to prove me wrong, and she proved me right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but Misfits, influential punk band. I saw them when they reunited they did the reunion tour with Glenn a couple years ago. And they were playing arenas, man. It's I couldn't even believe they've, but I guess for a band that's been away for so long. I mean, the Misfits carried on without Glenn. They had, they've had some good stuff after him, but I mean, everybody was just craving, Danzig back in Misfits, and I guess, being away so long, I guess, whole generations of people that never saw them, came out and dude, the arena was Newark, New Jersey here, Prudential Center. It was pretty packed, dude. So I gotta hand it to them. I think they didn't do a full tour. I guess they just did some cities here.
I think they did LA too.
Yeah, and they didn't do that many cities or whatever. So I guess probably a lot of people travel to see them too. So, but I like the Danzig stuff, man. I love the early Danzig albums.
Yeah,
great stuff, man. And so yeah, that's gonna be my number 4.
It's pretty amazing how he can change, not change, but keep up with the times and still sound fresh and still sound like he belongs.
Another guy influenced genres too.
Yeah, and different times.
Influence on him, man.
Yeah,
my wife even likes some others, so
I love that song. Every time that song comes on, I love it. Mother.
Go ahead, Kate.
Take your daughter out tonight. sounding those lines.
I saw him in like 2018 maybe, and he was still. I mean, they were still pretty awesome when I saw him. I didn't get to see that Misfits reunion. I've seen Misfits with Jerry only, but I haven't seen him with Danzig. But
Michael Graves was good
stuff.
with the Misfits.
Yeah, Michael Graves. Yeah.
So.
That would be good.
Okay.
Yeah, I was reading. I just have a weird comment. I was reading a Roy Orbison like biography last night, and there's one part in it that's like in 1984, Roy collaborated with his friend Glenn Danzig on this song. I'm like, what? Like, who could be more opposite than like what? But I don't know. I got to find this song. I'll share it with you guys because I was thinking about it last night. I'm like, man, I need to figure out what the hell this was.
Danzig, loves Roy.
Yeah, Danzig loved the old guys too because he has that Elvis album. So I bet you he did some Orbison covers that we just aren't like aware of. But I just thought that was such a funny thing. It's like collaborated with his friend Glenn Danzig. Okay, whatever. But keeping with the horror rock kind of vibe, I went with Alice Cooper.
Nice.
You got it.
Alice
gotta
Cooper.
have Alice Cooper. I'm gonna see him.
What else can you say that it's like he's still phenomenal? I've seen him a few times. He always plays the state fair here for free because he's from Detroit, so he would always play it for free. So I've seen him. I think a ticket to the state fair is $12 or something, and that's the 3 times I've seen him were there. So and they still kicked ass. Like they were amazing, even at a fairground like that outdoor concert. Yeah. I'm trying to think of what else. I don't know. He's based out of Phoenix now, but I still count him as a Detroiter.
Oh yeah, he's definitely.
He's such a big icon of Detroit. Yeah, he's a big golfer, which is funny for someone who's like, you wouldn't think he'd be out like hitting the rounds,
Oh, he's a totally different person outside of the
and like he opened
Vincent, what's his last name?
Yeah, Vincent Damon Fournier.
That's it. Yeah.
He opened $1 Billion Babies here, and my dad saw everyone. Like he grew up just outside of Detroit. He saw every single thing you could think of. He didn't get to see the Beatles because the Beatles broke up and Hendrix died before he could see him. But he graduated high school in 1970, like just outside Detroit. So he's like,
what a time.
Talking about them opening $1 Billion Babies here, and he's like the stacks of amps and speakers and shit that they had on stage, and just like blow your hair back, literally crazy, And then he met him. He was friends. There's like a local radio DJ that's pretty big time here that was a year older than him in school. So she was at the show backstage and brought my dad backstage. So my dad got to meet Alice Cooper, and he's like the most down-to-earth, nice, humble person. That thing in what is it, in Wayne's World when they're talking to him and how he is, like that's really him. Like he is not improving. Like that's his persona and personality.
My wife knows that line from that movie. I go, Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Algonquin for the good land.
No, I did get to meet him once too. So
was he cool when you met him?
He was really cool. It was really quick because his manager was like the guitar player he had before Nita Strauss.
You get to meet everybody.
I know.
Al doesn't mess around, man.
Can you tell? Come see me in LA somewhere.
I didn't get a chance to get a picture with him, but it was really quick. But the guitar player that he had before Nita Strauss, Orianthi, she did a solo show here in New York, so I went to go see her, and then he came out actually like a surprise appearance and did like some songs with her. And then
that's cool.
I went backstage. I got to meet her, and he was just hanging out back there. So, like, it was like some people back there, and then, I guess he wanted to leave because he didn't want to steal Orianti's thunder because everybody who's back there was like kind of phenomenal.
He's a phenomenal guitar player.
Yeah. Everybody was starting to gravitate towards him, so I guess he didn't want to steal her thunder. So the manager just kind of. I was real quick. I was just talking to him real quick, but the manager like kind of shushed him away. So
come on, let's get it.
Like you gotta go. So I was like, hey, Alice, bye, Alice, and see you
I
later.
like Oriental. Oh, I have her 2 albums. Really good.
Yeah,
she's got a new
Oriental
one
was
coming
really
out
good.
this year, I think, sometime pretty soon.
I don't like the one with Richie Sambora though. That was not
That
good.
Nina Strauss
Yeah, I
is
remember
great too. Yeah.
I have her solo album too, but why is she in the background of this Demi Lovato chick? It's like Alice brought her up front. Now she's in the back. All
Yeah.
you see is her hair.
That's
It's
gotta
like,
be
money.
She
Money.
probably got a really good paycheck, man.
money.
Well, it's that time that, like Kanye made that Paul McCartney guy famous,
Yeah.
But the thing is that when you went to go see Alice Cooper, you went to go see her play. Now no one's going to go see Demi Lovato and her great guitar player, because the guitar
But
player.
she ain't even playing good. She's just
Yeah.
playing rhythm. She ain't
You know,
playing no leads.
Because when you go see pop stars like that these days, you don't care who else is in the band. You just care to see that one person.
At least Rihanna let Nuno play leads.
Yeah.
It's like she said, yeah, go off. I want you to be you.
But
Yeah.
we've all seen Cooper recently, and we think he's great live. Imagine what he was in the mid-70s.
Oh, when my dad saw him open $1 Million Babies, they would like melt your face off.
Imagine, man. I mean, shit.
Yeah.
I'm
He
gonna
still
see him
talks about it. Like he said it was like legit blew your hair back. Like not
I'm
even
so depressed.
exaggerating.
I was gonna see a hot blonde in October. Now
I
I'm
know,
gonna
I
see
feel
this
bad for
muscular
you.
Gene Roberts that I don't really care for.
I got to see it though. I'm fortunate enough to see him. She's an incredible player, dude. Her solo is incredible on that.
I have her solo album, really good.
I saw her a few times too.
I like The Show Must Go On. She does the instrumental by Queen. It's freaking great.
My number, we're at the 5th one.
That was
Right?
4.
No,
Yeah, I
you're
did
3.
4.
It's 4.
You're at 3. Or 4. Yeah, 4.
4.
Okay. My next one, he comes out of Austin. Oh yeah, you're right. We are 4. He's passed away, but man, what a phenomenal guitar player, Stevie Ray Vaughn.
Of course.
That's one of the 2 I said you had to pick.
Yeah.
I thought
There you
Pantera
go.
was one of my.
Fantastic.
No, it's another one that I haven't heard yet. I'm waiting.
I heard him on the radio ever since I was a kid. He's been a staple here, and I love his music. I've only got 1 album, but the rest of it, I've only got 1 on vinyl, 2 on cassette, and the rest on CD. I think he's great. He's so much fun to listen to. He's got, man, the way that he plays live, the way that he takes these songs. I don't compare anybody to Hendrix because Hendrix is great, the best. But when you hear them play live, it's a whole different vibe from what's on their albums or what's on the radio. I mean, when these two have live sets, you never know which way these songs are going to go. And they are phenomenal, and that's why I got Stevie Ray Vaughn on my list.
He's just one
artist from Texas.
He's just one of those dudes. Like when you see him like playing live, just the command of his instrument. Like he's just at one with it, man. It's like so fluid. So like when we had the Unplugged show.
Yeah.
That was like one of my favorite Unplugged episodes with him. And I wish it was like an hour long,
Austin City Limits.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, the MTV Unplugged too.
Any of those guys that can
get where that's from or no?
Like hit flow state, anybody who can get into that and just jam, and it's like you don't know what they're gonna do next, but every single thing is perfect.
Yeah.
Never an off note, never. And they're not like looking for what they're doing. It's already like that flow state. It's already in their brain, and it's just channeling whatever, whomever they're channeling, whatever. I don't know, but
he was just that one guy.
Yeah,
who never let you down. Every time you heard something new, it was great.
David Bowie Let's Dance album.
I feel like some of the guys now, because there's like who is that? Like Joe Bonamassa and certain dudes I feel like are too much almost. Like they get too much going on and then you don't hear everything. It's like really busy jazz or something, if it gets too busy that it's like to my brain it's like not as pleasing, and that was him. He could get right on the edge, like the precipice of that, and then it's just phenomenal player.
I think Gary Clark Jr. is
Clark's amazing. He's amazing. That Kingfish guy.
Yeah,
that Kingfish Ingram. I've seen him 4 times now. Guys, go see him. He is the sweetest, giant, humble baby person. He's like 23 finally. The first time I saw him, he was 19, and he is just the nicest kid. It's like someone who's he's opening for like BB King at 14, you know, and he's another one. He can get in that flow state where he's like mesmerizing to watch.
I like Gary Clark Jr. I've seen him about 3 times.
He's really good. I got to see him at Austin City Limits. It's just spectacular.
And it's like every time he's got a new release,
yeah,
he's pushing everything more to the limit. Right now, Gary Clark Jr. is not playing. His playing is not being repeated. His album after album is completely different.
Yeah.
And his guitar is always in the middle of it, and it's great. And it's good to hear rock blues being out there, being brought again, because it hasn't been out there at all.
Yeah.
Black Country Communion with Bonamassa and Glenn Hughes is amazing also.
Yeah,
I like that better than Bonamassa solo. So
yeah.
I
Him with other people.
I got to see them live too.
Yeah,
because they didn't really tour much, man.
No, because Bonamassa is like making a lot of money solo, so it's like
I saw that California Breed too. That
the guy who ruined Ozzy, Andrew Watt.
Yeah,
but I like that new song. I like the new Ozzy song that the Patient Number 9.
I really love Ordinary Man. I still think it's a great album.
That is.
Love it.
Never really got into it.
No,
I did.
I probably didn't spend enough time with it. I don't know, but I don't know.
The new song I like. It sounds like Ozzy with Jeff Beck on guitar. I love it.
What's your next one, Jerry?
The next band's out of San Francisco. They used to call themselves the Golden Gate Rhythm Section before wisely changing their name to Journey. They were a hit machine when Steve Perry joined the band, but man, their 3 albums before Steve joined them.
Oh, I love those albums.
Awesome. Just jam sessions that were incredible. But, you know, talented band, Ainsley Dunbar, Ross Valerie, Greg Raleigh, Neil Sean. I mean, top-notch musicians.
I love that lineup.
Went over the top when Perry joined them. I mean, great hits, hit after hit after hit.
Yeah.
I like the new album.
I love the new album. I love Arnell, man. The guy can sing, dude. He gets picked on a lot, but he's a great singer.
They said they fixed him live.
I got to pick that new album up. I haven't gotten it yet.
And
there's a lot of ballads, but the rockers just like
he had a little problem with the enunciation of words when he first started, but he's getting much better.
Well, the front of house guy, they just got a new front of house guy that we're talking about. Arnell didn't admit he couldn't hear himself in his headphones, so he was off a lot. And then all of a sudden they got a new front of house guy, and they said he sounds like he's on the albums now. So I mean,
he's incredible, man. Just total energy. I went and saw him a couple years back, man. The guy's just everywhere, running around on stage.
I saw them with Def Leppard. They were good too.
He's a very good frontman. I know he can't replace Steve Perry, but man, he does a good job, dude.
I want to see an evening with Journey. They want to play a 3-hour tour like Rush.
I wanted to see the thing that Neil Sean did with Greg Raleigh. What did they call themselves a few years ago? Journey Through Time, was that what it's called?
Journey Through Time, yeah. Journey Through Time.
You
had him and Castronova.
I would have loved to have saw that, man. They did some great songs. I watched a bunch of them on YouTube, and it was just...
Dean could sing. I just don't like that band with Jack Blades.
I like it.
I don't like it.
But dude, Dean Castronova, man, I don't know why they didn't just tap him to be the singer, dude.
I was mad when he left the Dead Daisies. He was great in the Dead Daisies for those 2 albums he did.
You guys know that song "Mother and Father," right? From Journey.
Yeah.
I mean, the way he sings that song, he sings it better than Perry, I think.
No,
I'm just joking. The guy's got an incredible voice. I think he said he doesn't feel right, in the front of the stage or something like that.
Yeah.
He doesn't like to be the front man. But anyway, to move on. Journey's up there. A great band.
Yeah, they are, and all of their in their whole career, of all the changes they've been through, they've always done it very professionally.
Yeah.
It's a shame what happened with Ross and Steve at the end there. I think they made a bad mistake by trying to
take the name away.
Yeah. I mean, that's half the original band, or not the original band, but the
classic lineup.
Classic lineup, right? Yeah, it's a shame that happened, but
I mean, we all know that Neil Sean is Journey, and it's
weird. I think Jonathan Cain is a douche, but that's okay.
But trying to take the name away from Neil, that was stupid.
That's not too smart.
No.
That was big overstepping. What do you got next, Mark?
Well, Jerry already brought them up. Night Ranger, my number 3. So we already talked about them. So let's go to Al.
Al, number 3.
Number 3, I'm going to Red Bank, New Jersey. One of my favorite stoner rock bands, Monster Magnet.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a great album.
One of my favorite albums.
They're good.
Dope
Yeah.
to
Hopes to
Infinity.
Infinity.
Yeah.
Negasonic Teenage Warhead. I remember, dude, this was the time of my life where I smoked a lot. And this album was a soundtrack to that era.
The 90s. I love the 90s.
But damn, like, Power Trip, great album. And, they've had a run of great albums. I mean, they seem to kind of fade it out, but they're still putting out stuff that's really good. They just deserve to be kind of bigger. But, I mean, in the New Jersey area, man, I mean, they're legends. So, I love Monster Magnet. Dave Windorf, man, I think he's a genius. So,
last time I heard that album was on Father's Day. And I remember it was Father's Day because I drove to meet my mom to pick up my uncle in Victoria. That was like 2 hours away. And on my way back, I was listening to that album on my way back to Houston.
Dope to Infinity? Dope to Infinity or Power Trip? Yeah.
No, Dope to Infinity.
Yeah, I think that's my favorite by them. So, but yeah, man, Red Bank, New Jersey. Red Bank's a great town. If you ever come to New Jersey, the Count Basie Theater there, which is a great theater.
Oh yeah, you go there quite a bit, don't you?
Yeah, I just saw Pat Benatar there, so she was great. I see quite a bit of shows there. It's a great theater, and great restaurants around the area. It's by the shore, so it's like by Bruce and Bon Jovi didn't live too far from there or whatever. They had houses there, near there. So, but yeah, man, Monster Magnet, I love them. They're underrated, man. I think they should be on more people's playlists and talked about more. So that's my number 3.
Good. Their last one was fantastic. I loved it. I think somebody said it was an all covers.
It was a covers album, yeah.
Yeah.
It was really good. I didn't know any of the songs.
I haven't played them on my radio show yet, and I keep wanting to play them.
They picked a really obscure, like Psych and all this stuff that you never really would even know.
Yeah, but they made it their own, pretty much.
Yeah, very obscure stuff. So,
and it sounds like pure Monster Magnet.
Yeah.
Well, they can't. Yeah, that's their influences. Like all that Psych and psychedelic and stoner stuff. It's like Black Sabbath, psychedelic and stuff like that. I love the styles that they mix. So,
are they all the same original members?
No, Dave Windorf is really the only one.
Okay,
pretty much. He's the mastermind. So,
okay,
that's my number 3. Go ahead, Kate.
They always have cool album covers.
Yeah. Very interesting.
Yeah, they're really bizarre, but they're interesting.
There's Dave right here.
Yeah.
He's a cool dude, man.
Yeah, he is.
He lives it. Kate.
My number 3, I had to go with Stevie Wonder. Like huge.
Of course.
Has to be mentioned.
He was born in Saginaw, so up north from me, so like mid-mitten. But when he was 4, his parents divorced and he moved down to Detroit with his mom. I wanted to look up why he was blind. I was actually interested in this. So he was 6 weeks premature and he had a type of retinopathy, and then it causes detached retina. So not long after birth is why he went blind.
Oh, okay, because he wasn't fully developed.
Yep. It's a issue that causes your eyes to not grow and then your retinas detach.
Oh, wow.
I don't know. I never knew that. So I was like, I want to know what this is about. I'm always medically interested in stuff. But other fun fact, youngest Billboard's artist ever, and to this day at 13. He signed with Motown Records at 11 years old.
Wow.
So,
yeah. Wow.
You guys know. I mean, think of how many hits he's got. This is kick-ass. I get a couple others that he's just
Yeah, he did the Kennedy thing a couple years ago, and he sounded great.
Oh, he's still so good. Yeah, he's still a phenomenal player. He's still with it. Like, 72 is not old. And like when you saw it, that's not old. But some people lose it, and he's still so good. And I was looking up I wanted to know how many albums he did. And it was like, it's 23 studio albums. He has 4 live albums and 3 soundtracks. It was like, damn, it's a lot of work. Okay. But thinking of when he was signed at 11, that's a really, really long career, and he's little Stevie Wonder.
Great. I saw him. I got to see him live once.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, he played like 3.5 hours.
Yeah, he just jams. Wow. Yeah,
he was doing that whole album too.
Mm-hmm.
He was doing
that'd be really cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So, great artist, man.
Yeah.
Well, now I never got to see him live, and
I would love to see him. I've never seen him. Yeah.
Maybe one day I will.
That was never a thought to see him live until my older years. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
How great that would be to see him now.
Yeah, there's a handful of the older dudes that I'm like, man, I really need to see them. And that was like Elton John just came and Billy Joel just came through Detroit like this last week, and I was like, I don't have the money to spend on that kind of stuff, So I'm like, whatever. If I miss them, that's all right. But seeing Stevie Wonder would really be worth it, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
I'll be seeing Elton on Sunday.
Nice. I'm sure it's a great show. Yeah.
He was awesome live.
I saw Billy on a Stormfront tour. That was a great show.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah.
Richard Marx came on stage, I think, with him. Did a couple songs with him on that tour.
Hopefully, I'll be able to see Billy in September. I'm planning to see him in September. I've never seen him. I've seen.
It's so expensive. He's playing Vegas, and it's really expensive.
Yeah.
My wife said we need to stop spending money on concerts. I go, what are you talking about?
That's our way. That's our going out. I mean, that's what it is for me.
She says we're going to too many concerts.
Of entertainment.
I'm going to concerts without her. I'm seeing L.A. Guns, Wasp, Armored Saint, and Judas Priest without her.
You know how much I pay for Elton?
How much?
Zero.
Dude, how do you do
because
that,
he's got the hookups, man. You see all the pictures? Every day he shows a picture of some famous guy, and I go, fucking owl, man.
I guarantee
I need to move to New York just to hang out with this guy.
I guarantee you, I was going to be able to sit at the piano for at least one song with Elton.
I'd like to bring up Al Horta.
You see me taking a selfie on the piano, and Elton
Elton will kick my ass. Glasses.
Elton will kick my ass off that piano and be like, "Get the hell out of here, you wanker!"
It's like every day there's a new picture of him with someone famous.
I know. It's like every day there's a picture of someone.
I know. I'm like, dude, stop rubbing it in.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm just joking. It's cool, man.
No,
I'm happy for you. Actually, I'm happy for you. That's awesome.
Oh, because now I tell people I've got a friend who's met them.
I said I know this guy Al. He knows everybody.
I got a friend who's met them. No big deal.
I said I'm going to move to New York when I'm 60 and hang out with this dude.
Hey,
I compliment your cool name every podcast. Come on, Al.
I like to get a picture with Mark Alden Taylor. You know what I mean? The Rush
Rockin' Pod 2023, man. Rockin' Pod, man.
I can't wait, dude. I'm excited.
Oh yeah, dude. I'm definitely gonna go to that, man.
Yeah, we're going. Yeah, me and Lee aren't gonna buy a podcast, and we're gonna run around and steal everybody's mics.
They're gonna get thrown out.
Yeah. Hey, Chris said that was a good idea when he's on our podcast. He thought that was funny. All right.
My third one. This gentleman comes out of Gilmore, Texas. He's had a lot of hit songs, and we've already talked about him actually on the show today. But he's within my top 5.
Willie?
Don Henley.
Oh, Don Henley.
Out of Gilmore, Texas. Went on to do the Eagles. We've talked about him past episodes because we know how great The End of the Innocents is. It's a fantastic album.
Oh, it is.
And it is a fantastic album. I won that on the radio show. They said, who plays piano in that song? I said, Bruce Hornsby. And he sent me the CD. Yeah.
And we always talk about Hotel California being a great album and the title track, but man, Don Henley, doing The Last Resort on the last track.
Yeah, that's a great
album. Oh my God, dude. Everything they put into that song to end that album. What a great bookends there, Hotel California and then The Last Resort. But when they first started off, of course, Don Henley didn't have that much pull in the band. He got a lot of pull when they did Desperado. He started to write more and more. And Desperado is a fantastic album.
They called him the Golden Voice.
I mean, hear him sing "The Best of My Love," dude. I mean, it's just an incredible vocal.
Have you ever heard his greatest hits album, Actual Miles, where he does the Garden of Allah?
Yeah.
Oh God, Stan Lynch is playing drums from Tom Petty and Heartbreakers.
Yeah, and
great fucking song.
On his second solo album, there's a lot of songs on there that are written by Mike Campbell off the Heartbreakers. And in fact, Mike Campbell co-wrote "Summer of '69." In fact, he gave it to Tom Petty, and Tom Petty didn't like it. So he took "Summer '69" to Henley, and Henley.
I can't picture Tom Petty singing that song, but that's
"Summer of '69." That's
Brian Adams.
Oh my God, I meant "Boys of Summer."
Boys of Summer.
I apologize, everybody. I apologize. So sorry. "Boys of Summer." Oh my God. I'm so embarrassed.
That song comes on, I crank it. I love that song.
Oh, "Dirty Laundry!" I cranked that song.
Dirty
Laundry.
Yeah, "Dirty Laundry" is a jam.
His song. His album "Inside Job's" pretty good too, man.
Yeah, that's a very melancholy album, but still very well written. It's very well written, and that's one thing about Don Henley. He's a fantastic writer. So that's my number 3 from Texas, state of Texas, is Don Henley, and I believe he deserves to be up there.
The cease and desist order is coming your way, man.
The what?
The cease and desist order from Don Henley is going to come your way tomorrow.
I saw the Innocence tour at the Irvine Meadows Amphitheater. It's really good.
Oh wow, man! I wish I would have seen that.
Great.
It was just a great time for him. It was a great time for music at that time. 89 going into 90.
I Won't Back Down with Axl singing background on that song. I Won't Go Quietly.
I Won't Go Quietly.
Yeah, I Won't Go.
I'm getting everything all mixed up. And then of course on side 1 with Take 6, New York
Minute.
Wait, New York Minute. Ooh. I love that song.
Change.
And freaking the other song on there, This Is the Last Worthless Evening.
The Last Worthless Evening.
Oh God, that song rules.
Heart of the Matter, another great
Heart of the Matter. That album is just like a greatest hits album in itself.
It is by itself, yeah.
How bad do you want it? I mean, just a lot of songs.
Not bad enough.
Not bad enough.
And he had the synthesizer.
Now I'm gonna have to play that on the way to work tomorrow. Thanks, man.
You're welcome.
No Eddie Trunk tomorrow. I'm gonna listen to that.
All right, Jerry, what's going on with you? What's your next one from the state of California?
Well, you can't mention California band without mentioning this one. Now, they're originally from LA, but I think they call San Francisco home. Metallica, man. I mean, you can't have a top 10 list without a California band without having Metallica in it. So
they left LA because there wasn't a thrash scene. There was a thrash scene, and they wanted Cliff Burton as the bass player, so they moved to San Francisco because Cliff would not move to LA.
But their first 2 albums, dude. And Master is good too, but their first 2 are fantastic works of art, man. I mean, love them. I mean,
yeah, Ride is my favorite.
I mean, what do you guys not know about Metallica? So
Jason Newsted's from Michigan.
Yeah.
Is he really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Interesting. Now, were you saving him for your number 1?
No.
I want to see what her number 1 is because a lot of people in Detroit. I want to know what it is.
Oh man, this one was really hard.
It ain't gonna be the new.
I'm thinking of it.
The Motor
I was thinking that or Mitch Ryder and the Detroit Wheels. One of those 2.
I've got one more in mind.
Mitch Ryder.
I have number 1.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for that name to come out.
Detroit's hard, man. There's so much. Well, Michigan itself is hard.
Yeah.
Right. Sorry, I interrupted you. I just had to shout out Jason because I'm like, that's another Michigan person.
Mark.
Okay, I'm gonna pick a little band for Pasadena, but you guys aren't gonna think that's the band I'm talking about. What band do you think I'm talking about, Jerry? That's for Pasadena.
My number one. My number one.
Probably your number. No, but my number
one.
two. But my number two. No, your number one might be my number one. But I'm giving you a sleight of hand here.
All right.
Oingo Boingo.
Oh boy.
That's
Oh, fuck you.
Wow.
Oingo Boingo.
I'm surprised you like them.
For real?
I love
Yeah.
Oingo Boingo.
I
I love
a lot on this show.
Danny Elfman is a fucking
So
genius.
talented.
He is a genius, man.
Steve Bartek is a great underrated guitar player.
Mhm.
Like in Johnny Vatos is a great drummer.
Dude, how many members have they got?
Dude, they have horns, dude. They have to have members.
Okay.
Yeah, they got a horn section. In fact, I gotta write that name down because every time you mention them, I forget to go listen to them the next day.
Dude, these songs. This is from what 80? What?
I mean, they got songs.
83.
Yeah, they were.
And this song's capitalism. There's nothing wrong with capitalism. There's nothing wrong with free enterprise. There's nothing wrong with wanting to live nice. So tired of being. You're just a little crass socialist brat. You know, you're always complaining. And then only a lad. Johnny was bad. He was bad. You could tell. He said, and at the end, he goes, Johnny, you really don't fool me. You get away with murder. You think it's funny. You don't give a damn, and people live and die. Oh. Hey there, Johnny boy. Opie Frey. You know, this is fucking great. This is metal lyrics with fucking ska and pop. This is fucking amazing. And if you like Danny Elfman soundtracks, my God, this is where he came from. They actually started as the Mystic Knights of the Oingo Boingo with Danny's brother, and then Danny took it over.
Hey, didn't you come on back to school?
I see. Yeah,
right.
With
That was
Weird Science, too, right? Weird Science.
Weird Science.
Oh, Back to School.
Yeah, back to school.
They were in the movie.
Yeah,
they actually did the theme song to Bachelor Party. It's a bachelor party.
Oh, really? Did they? That's a cool song.
Dude, Danny Elfman rules. His new solo album is amazing and dark as fuck. Yeah, you guys got to listen to his new solo album.
I got to really listen to him more because I really like the soundtrack and the scores that he does.
Dude, Danny Elfman is amazing. I've seen him 3 times live. Look at the show, their farewell show. They got it on YouTube. The guy is dragging the bass player along the freaking. They put on a show, dude.
Let me see cool videos from that.
They put on a show from the farewell. I saw them at the Universal Amphitheater. I saw them twice there and once at the Irvine Meadows. Every Halloween they'd play there. If you like freaking what is that Batman soundtrack, Batman 1 and 2, the Simpsons theme, any Tim Burton movie is all Danny Elfman.
Yeah, I was gonna say Nightmare Before Christmas wasn't even his project, and he took it over and is like. Yeah.
He wanted to do the voice of Jack. If you look at the Netflix thing, Movies We Love, he's in there talking about it. How Danny, you can't do the voice of Jack, but we want you to do the singing voice of Jack. Yeah, he did the singing voice of Jack.
What is it? Movies that made us.
Movies that made us. Yeah, the Back to the Future one's killer too. You guys got to check that out, man.
Yeah, that's a good series. Toys that made us, the movies that made us. Both of those are really fun.
Made us rule. The Toys that made us is cool too.
Yeah.
But that but Danny Elfman just sounds like a phenomenal.
Danny Elfman is a genius.
He's another one of those people that, like, when I talk about the alien people, that I'm like, he's from another planet. Like,
you know who he's married? You know who he's married to?
Smart.
You know, single white female, not the other one.
Bridget Fonda?
Bridget Fonda. He's married to Bridget Fonda. Yeah.
Huh.
Right, he is. That's right. Because we were talking about that. That's right. I forgot.
That is a weird combination.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never know that.
Danny Elfman, I can't sing enough of his praises. I get shit on for, but dude, his lyrics are metal, and his lyrics from the 1980s go with what's going on today. It's like it's not dated.
Like he hangs out with Jane Fonda.
That'd be so weird.
Yeah.
All right.
That was my number 2.
That's awesome. Good one.
All right. So when somebody meets me and, I tell them I'm from Jersey, the question they always ask is like, well, is it Bon Jovi or is it Bruce Springsteen? And my answer is always the Smithereens.
I thought you were going to say John Cafferty and the Beaver Brown Band.
No, actually, it would be what's now I can't think of his name. The Bruce kind of like came up with Bruce and stuff like that.
Oh, you're talking about Johnny, Southside Johnny?
Southside Johnny, yeah. But anyway, I go with the Smithereens. I signed by the band here. I got to meet them. I got to meet Dennis. I got to meet Pat Denizio before he passed away. He actually did a free show. They actually did a free show here in Rahway, where I live. That's the town I'm from. About probably like 6 months before he passed, or 7 or 8 months, something like that. He died within the year, though. But it was weird seeing him like that last time, because I saw him a bunch of times through the years.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, Pat always played. He always played rhythm guitar and stuff. And this time he couldn't play guitar because he hurt his arm or something like that. So, like when I met him, he couldn't sign the CD. The other members of the band signed it, except him, because he couldn't sign. And I don't know why I didn't think of it. I was having a conversation with him. He was a nice guy and real down to earth. And I just, one of my regrets is not like taking a picture with him. So I don't have a picture with him, but I have the memory of meeting him, and he was really nice and down to earth. And I missed the guy. The guy had a great voice. I remember the first time seeing him.
That Meet the Smithereens album was amazing with doing the Beatles.
Yeah, that's a great one. They did a great Beatles cover. The early Beatles too.
Yeah.
The early stuff. And I remember seeing the Blood and Roses video, and I was like, wow, who's this band? It's kind of refreshing, you know, because it was kind of in the mid of like, you know, I don't like using hair metal, but like, you know, I was in the midst of, you know, metal, which I loved, and pop and all this stuff. And these guys were just straight up, you know, some people call them a little bit alternative, some, you know, power pop. They had all elements kind of like that. They were just kind of stripped down, and they just straight up rock and roll to me, you know, and it was refreshing to hear that on the radio. So, yeah, I mean, Smithereens, I mean, that's my favorite, really. You know, when they always ask about Bon Jovi and Bruce, I'm like, the Smithereens is my band, you know. So, and you know, Bruce has jammed with Pat's jam with Bruce Springsteen and stuff like that. So, but yeah, Smithereens is my number 2. I love that band. They're from Carteret, which is like one town over from me. So Carteret, New Jersey. They were a staple of New Jersey, like club scene they're even going now, even without Pat. They have the guy from shit, man, I can't think of the name right now. I'll come back to it. I'll let you know. But there's 2 guys that they're kind of like switching on and off that plays with them, that do the songs and stuff. But they're not going to do new music anymore without Pat Denizio and all that stuff. So I mean, they're just kind of just out there just playing their songs and shit. So, but yeah, Smithereens, I love them. They're my number 2 from New Jersey.
Yeah, they're playing the Canyon in Montclair, and I keep seeing it on the sign at the mall every time I go by there. I go, I should go to that show. It's like
it's weird, like without Pat Denizio, because he had such a unique voice and stuff, and he had that cool like beatnik look, and you know.
He reminded me of Maynard Krebs, fucking Gilligan from that Dobie Gillis show. Remember that? He had the same look. Maynard J. Krebs. Gilligan, freaking Gilligan, the guy who played Gilligan, man. Bob Denver. You ever seen that show, The Many Lives of Dobie Gillis?
Dobie Gillis, that was before.
Yeah, he was a beatnik, Bob Denver. You look like him to me.
Go ahead, Kate.
So this one, I went with Anthony Kiedis. Anthony Kiedis, born in Grand Rapids. He lived here till he was 12, and then he moved out to Hollywood to live with his dad. His parents were never married, I guess. But Chili Peppers, Old Chili. I love Old Chili Peppers. I think
Fight Like a Brave.
yeah. And that's like, he has a lot of songs coming out of addiction stuff, because I was reading about him writing that. Was one of his stints in rehab, and he's coming out of rehab and wrote that. But it was like his dad, he's like a little kid and goes out to live with his dad, and his dad was a drug dealer and like would smoke pot and do coke with him and stuff. And the person who introduced him to heroin when he's like 14 years old.
Didn't he mistakenly think it was?
Yeah, he was thinking he's doing coke and he does heroin for the first time. So yeah, so not the best father figure, but I think he's clean still. I don't know. I read his autobiography and he was clean at that time. I assume he's still clean now. I'm not sure.
He's been going a little back and forth right now.
Yeah, I really dig the new album.
Do you like that one? I've listened to a couple songs off of it. I got to go back and listen to the whole thing.
Like, it's a grower. You got to keep listening to it.
Yeah. Because I love them. I mean, like their old stuff. That's where Andy and I have talked about this before. Where I'm like, they put out Stadium Arcadium, and I was like done with them. But I need to go back and give those a chance.
Yeah, that was a grower album too.
Yeah. I'm like, I need to go back and give those a chance because like I'm more into like their old funk
with
stuff.
Hello Slovak.
Yeah, you know.
I like the albums with Klinghoffer on there. I'm With You is really great. The last album they did with Klinghoffer is really good. You need to listen. I'm With You. You need to listen to those Klinghoffer albums. They're really good. But I was happy to hear Frusciante's guitar tone back with them. But Klinghoffer was not bad.
I'll have to check that out because I really like the Dave Navarro stuff too. I mean that.
Oh, I love that album. One Hot Minute.
One Hot Minute's a great album, and like
I love that album too.
Yeah.
I just don't like that song P.
I like that song.
Yeah, of course you do. I'm just joking.
I did. I like it.
I like that album a lot. Like, you know, obviously everybody wants it. Like big Chili fans want it to be Frusciante all the time. But I'm like, Dave Navarro is awesome too. Like he's a great guitar player. I'll have to check that other stuff out, like you said, Mark.
The Klinghoffer stuff. I was kind of depressed. I go, dude, I love that last album he did with Klinghoffer. Let me see. I have it right. The Getaway from 2016. That has a song. The Getaway, Dark Necessities is a freaking dark song.
I know that song. Okay.
Dark Necessities.
I've heard that.
Mm-hmm. That guitar is just amazing on that song. And they have a song called Detroit on that album.
Yeah. I've heard that for sure then. I didn't recognize the guy's name.
Yeah, that's a
last album. I know that John Frusciante's on it, so that's why I was expecting more from John Frusciante. And he's kind of too laid back from what
I've watched a couple of the like music videos from this last album, and I was like, oh, like it wants to be Old Chili so bad, and I want it to be Old Chili so bad. So I think it's me that like.
I think he just needs to get rid of that porn stash, and he'll be fine.
Yeah, that's gotta go.
That's gotta go.
I love facial hair. I am like huge love when guys have facial hair, and I'm like, ooh, that is.
Just grow a beard around it.
Not doing him any favors. Yeah, but it's cool. I think it's really cool that like him and Flea met when they were in high school and they're still together, like still doing this whole thing. So
yeah, that's really cool.
I think that's cool. You can be best friends with someone. I mean, they're best friends too. Yeah. You can tell all their music videos.
Yeah, there's a camaraderie.
Their shows and their relationship together and like doing movies and stuff, you can tell that they're truly best buddies. So that's
just
cool,
keep Anthony out of movies because his thing in what is it? Point Break is horrible.
That would be a waste of time.
Yeah.
Flea is good. He's in the new Star Wars
movies. I was gonna say Flea.
What was his name?
McFly.
He's a bad guy in the new one. He's in Back to the Future.
Yeah.
What was his character's
Needles
name?
In Back to
Needles.
Needles.
McFly. Chicken? What are you, chicken?
He's good at playing a bad guy too. Yeah. That's funny because he seems like he'd be like the nicest, goofy dude, you know.
Plus young MC bust a move. I
think he wasn't born in East LA with Cheech Marin.
Yeah, I think
he
love Flea. Yeah. Anthony should stay out of movies though.
You don't love Point Break? Come on.
Point Break, that scene where he got shot.
Come on.
He looks like like, dude, you're horrible.
Yeah, not everybody's a great actor, even if they're a good musician, good front man.
It's hard to do both. Flea's just a natural at it. He just
Flea has he's like such a chameleon into different things. I feel like
He's
Like,
actually
you'll always recognize him, but you'll be like, wait a minute, is that Flea?
Is
And
that
then he's
Flea?
doing something weird you wouldn't expect. That was like that new Star Wars thing. Like,
yeah, I was gonna say he's in Obi-Wan.
when I
like,
saw him, I was like, that's Flea.
He's pretty good in it. He's not bad.
Yeah.
He's not bad at acting.
Yeah.
He's not a bad actor, but Anthony's pretty horrible. That's why he probably hasn't done anything since Point Break.
Anthony's good in like music videos, like their old music videos. He's so good and stage presence and stuff back in the day. Like,
but those video moves, he
so
keeps
good.
doing this.
Yeah.
This
Slow motion with the hands,
yeah.
My number 2, I think we've already talked about them, but I will mention them again. ZZ Top.
Yeah.
That's the other one I was hoping you'd pick.
I had texted Mark a couple of minutes ago about that'll be your number 1.
Yeah, as I was hoping it would be number 1.
It's not my number 1. It's my number 2.
Number 2.
Number 2, excuse me. Right, I'm sorry, my bad.
Yeah, ZZ Top. I've seen them several times, and I just heard that they're coming here again in September, but so is Billy Joel. So my wife said I got to pick one, so I think I'm going to go with Billy Joel.
Billy Joel, go with Billy
I've
Joel.
never seen Billy Joel, and ZZ Top I've seen many times.
Yeah.
So but yeah, what can you say about ZZ Top? Their whole discography from beginning to end, nobody else sounds like them. And it's not blues, it's not rock blues, it's Texas music.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
Texas Boogie.
Yeah.
It's Texas Boogie.
Even when they went a little commercial in the 80s, they were still freaking good, man. You know?
Yeah, even when
Eliminator and Afterburner and all them were great records.
With Johnny Johnny Five on drums, like Ian Wadley says, you know.
And with the Eliminator car, every time we see a car like that, you always say, look, there's a top car.
I was looking at the chicks as a kid. I go, what's that car? Oh, what's this car? I'm looking at the legs.
You always say, look, a ZZ Top car.
I wanted the keychain, though. I always wanted the keychain.
Yeah. But yeah, ZZ Top, from Tres Hombres to Tejas to El Loco. I mean, these albums are just
Mean.
Yeah.
Antenna. They
Antenna.
haven't made a bad album. They even made a rap song. They made a song that was rap. Was it Got to Get Paid? That was a rap song. They turned it into a blues boogie. It was awesome.
It's a really good. They're a great band. Of course, we lost Dusty Hill. Probably about the last year.
Plus, they were in Back to the Future 3, the greatest trilogy of all time. So
yeah,
come on.
Go back to
without changing, But this new guy,
I got the book.
I think he's the bass tech or something like that.
He was the bass tech. Yeah, he looks weird. He's got that fur on his hair, and it's like,
and they did it with Dusty's blessing.
He looks like Sonic the Hedgehog.
But every time you hear that, it's with a blessing with who they're.
Yeah, he told him to go on with him, so
it really means something,
Yeah.
So, and are we going to see something new from them? They're talking about it, And their last couple of albums really went back to old school ZZ Top. They really did. So let's see what they're going to come up with. Right now, they're touring, popping up here and there.
That's a good documentary too. You ever seen that documentary, ZZ Top doc? That's a good one.
I'm actually going to see them the end of July. We're going to go see Willie Nelson in Columbus, and that's the Outlaw Tour is ZZ Top and Willie Nelson.
Nice.
Oh wow!
Which I thought was a funny combo, but I'm like, all right, yeah, I could see that.
Bring some weed.
That'll be fun.
Beers and weed at that show.
Oh
Yeah, I can't. I go nonverbal. I can't do it.
I'll take whiskey and weed.
Yeah, I'll drink some big beers, but
Big beers, a lot of beers for me.
Yeah.
All right, we are at the top, but Jerry.
Well, Mark
Andy,
mentioned Andy there earlier.
Andy, you got to do this, man.
Oh, we are at the top. Why do I do that a lot when I get to that point?
When you get to number one, it's always like
I do that. I never knew that. Well, now I know. I guess that'll be my thing now.
Now he's gonna be self-conscious about it.
No, that's cool, man.
All right, Jerry, it's your turn to go.
Well, Mark mentioned a band from Pasadena. I'm going to mention another band, probably the greatest six-pack in the history of rock and roll. I mean, you guys can guess who that is, right?
The Beach Boys.
Nope.
That was Santa Monica.
I mean, Van Halen, dude. I mean, Van Halen, the six pack is, some of the best stuff ever done on vinyl or on recording.
It's a perfect run of albums.
Yes.
Well, called a
I didn't care for A Different Kind of Truth. And I'm not big on the Sammy era. I like a couple of Sammy songs, but man, that six pack was just on fire, man.
Literally.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about Van Halen being the best out of California? Yes or no?
I agree
with it.
Oh, yeah.
I love Van Halen. Yeah. Van Halen's a top 3 band for me. So
yeah. I mean, David, man, probably you talk about the best frontman ever. He's definitely up there. I don't know about the best, but he's definitely up there, man.
Yeah.
In rock and roll, and that type of rock and roll metal genre, he's probably the best, man.
Well, look, dude, just look at how many bands they influenced that whole Sunset Strip scene, man.
The whole California scene there in the 80s.
They were the kings, bro. They just, so many bands just wanted to be them,
And if Gene Simmons found him, thank you, Gene. I don't know the whole story about that, but he said he found him. But thank God somebody did, because, man, they're just a legend. Man, legendary.
And they led rock and roll in the 80s easily.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they were the leaders.
And they kind of killed disco, man. They
thank God.
Getting rid of disco.
I hope they killed ABBA. I'm still waiting for Kate to send me some disco records. Like,
we could do a whole show on Van Halen. So I mean, they're one of my favorite bands. Definitely the best out of California.
That's a band that gets mentioned on the podcast pretty much every week, anyway. So
yeah.
It's like debut albums, like what year? 1985 or something. Like
always.
There's been.
Yeah. And we talk about them even with Dave and Sammy. Because I love
both eras. Dave is the best, though.
Oh, yeah. But Sammy was just as good. Well, not just as good, but he kept it going, and they were a good band.
They were almost two different bands, if you think about it.
I do feel
they had to change with the times.
Yeah.
They had to flow with the times.
I mean, Dave's little things in the middle after the guitar solos, like one break coming up, all that stuff was just so cool.
It was
funny, just entertaining, man. It's just the greatest.
Yeah,
that gets parodied a lot too.
Yeah. And then the hamburger in that movie, what was that?
Better Off Dead.
Yeah, I mean,
that's a classic movie.
Or like
I want my $2.
Or that clip, the David Lee Roth car alarm. Have y'all seen that yet on YouTube?
Yeah. Funny or Die or something.
Lee Roth car alarm. Like if you get too close to a car, it's like his voice.
Going back to Better Off Dead, the scene with Booger and. This is pure snow. Do you realize the street value of this mountain?
I watch that movie at least twice a year, man.
I love that.
I love that movie.
I like the two guys in the car that learned how to talk.
Yeah, the Howard Cosell.
And that guy,
a great champion.
and the guy talking, he was the bad guy on Karate Kid Part 2.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right.
Right. Yeah.
That movie. I tell you what, man, Curtis Armstrong.
Yeah, I love him. Yeah,
he's such a great actor.
Why they call you Booger? I don't know.
Oh, dude,
Booger.
I know he's a great actor.
Man, I mean, just
Moonlighting with Bruce Willis.
Yeah. Moonlighting.
And he was also in freaking Supernatural. A lot of episodes of Supernatural.
It was just one of those two things, man, with Van Halen, David Lee Roth and Eddie together, man, were just something special, man.
Yeah.
Unmatched, and I don't think we'll ever see that again in our lifetime.
Oh yeah, and that again, another band in history that they just went together, and they made history. They were fantastic.
It's one of those things where you were alive during it, and thank God, man, you saw them. Like seeing Michael Jordan play basketball. It's like we were alive during that, so that's cool. So,
and we get these other athletes or great bands that say that they're new and they're great, and they're just mediocre to what we grew up with.
Yeah,
my opinion.
And that's just my opinion. It's, I think it's actually fact, actually, what you're saying there. I mean, it's just sad how music is going down. I mean, it's they don't even do it they don't even encourage it in schools anymore or anything like that.
It's not important, and I'm about to make a point here.
You can write a song on you can write a song on a computer now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, alone without bandmates and just in a minute or two.
But that's my number one, and I can't think of anybody better than that out of California. So.
Oh yeah, easily, yeah. Mark?
Well, I am with Jerry Van Halen. The other band, my top two are from Pasadena, California. You can't go wrong with Van Halen. I like both eras. I even like the Gary Cherone era. So
that album's growing on me.
Yeah,
it's funny that album and freaking Blaze Bayley from the Iron Maiden era is growing on me too. So listen to it enough. It's pretty good.
I don't like it. I'm tripping out on the one guy bitching about Judas Priest, the singer that they're forgetting about him. I go, you should be forgotten about. But Van Halen, man, there's nothing more I could say. I like Sammy Hagar. I like David Lee Roth. I like Gary Cherone. I love Eddie. Without Eddie or Alex, there is no Van Halen. So people who want to say we need to call them Van Halen.
He was a guy that was in the band for like a minute.
Mitch Malloy.
Malloy, yeah.
Fuck that guy. He's trying to do Mitch Malloy's Van Halen experience.
I heard that. Yeah.
Are they really?
Yeah, he is.
That's such an embarrassment, man.
They kicked him out of they kicked him out of Great White. He sucked there too.
You weren't the guy wasn't even a blip on the radar, and he's like milking it.
The Van Halen experience.
Great White could have been one of my top 10 bands too in California.
Wow.
With Jack Russell.
Doing that. That is horrible.
Yeah. And I love Andrew Freeman, but he doesn't sound like Great White. Jack needs to get back with Great White. He's sober. He's good now, man. Bring him back.
They still have two versions of it going around, or just one now?
No, Jack Russell's doing Jack Russell's Great White. And Jack Russell's Great White has put out an acoustic album, put out a Led Zeppelin 2 album, and put out He Saw It Coming. Great 3 albums by that band. They even have the guy who played bass on Great White albums. Now he plays lead. And I saw them live, and that guy could play.
Yeah. Live last year, they were great.
They're great.
In fact, they were the first band that I saw when things started to open up after COVID, or not after COVID, but you know what I mean. When shows started coming again, and it was them with Winger.
Yeah, Winger's a great band too. I'm sorry,
but man, but Jack Russell is Great White, dude.
Jack Russell, he did "Babe, I'm Gonna Leave You," and he did it perfect.
So who's in charge of the other carnation? Is it Mark Kendall or
Mark Kendall and
Greg Lardy?
Yeah, remember I was bitching about Lardy because
that's right. You remember now, yeah.
Fuck Lardy. Fuck that guy.
What's your number one from the state of New Jersey?
Well, being a New Jersey guy, I'd have to pick this guy at number one, because if not, there'd be a mob hit out on me.
A mob hit.
Bruce.
Right.
Old Blue Eyes, baby.
Oh,
right.
Frank Sinatra.
Hoboken, New Jersey, man.
There's nothing wrong with that pick right there. Dude.
Nothing wrong with that either.
It's a surprise, but it's a great pick, man.
Sinatra, dude. You got to pick New Jersey, Hoboken, New Jersey, Old Blue Eyes. I mean,
I always thought he was from New York because of the song, New York.
Well,
New York,
yeah, but he's a New Jersey guy.
New Jersey guy.
Married with Children got me into him.
You can't. I mean, come on, man. Nobody makes a decision unless Frank approves it.
Right.
Okay? Listen,
Chairman of the board.
Yeah. Okay. That's all I gotta say. That's my number one. Old Blue Eyes, Frank Sinatra. I love him.
He's New Jersey's son. He really is.
I don't think I would call him Old Blue Eyes to his face, though. But
well, he's not around anymore. But yeah.
But he was great.
And you know what? He I kick myself, man, because in the '90s he was doing a concert here at Amphitheater here in New Jersey, and a friend of mine went with me, and he invited me to go, and I didn't end up going, and I kicked myself because after that's when he pretty much retired. He had health problems and all that stuff, but it would have been nice to have seen him, man. But hey, man, you got the records, you got stuff. So he's timeless, man.
Bono did a great duet with him. Everybody gets U2 shit. Bono.
Oh, yeah.
Bono did a great duet with him. I loved it.
Yeah, it was off that, I think, Frank Sinatra Duets album.
Yeah.
Have you heard Mark Tremonti doing Frank Sinatra?
I haven't heard that yet. Is it good?
Dude, God, he sounds just like Frank Sinatra. He's in a suit, and it all goes to charity.
Oh, yeah,
the album.
I saw that. That's really
I Got You Under My Skin. It's the whole album. Him doing and everybody's going, Tremonti could sing like Frank Sinatra.
Tremonti's another Michigan guy.
You need to check that out, Al. You're gonna fall in love with that album.
There's a couple of YouTube videos of him, and it is like mind blowing that like channeling him. It's
Frank
I heard about it and I didn't I forgot about it, but I
even has the original band members of Frank Sinatra's band playing on the album. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
But dude, what a party that would have been, man. Fucking Dean Martin, Sammy Davis, Joey Bishop.
Dude,
I want to party with Dean Martin, man.
What about Mr. Warren?
Those roasts were
legendary. Okay, Whiskey Man, party with Dean Martin.
Half them guys are half in the bag, man. It was great.
Yeah. The Rat Pack was always loaded.
Dean Martin roast, those were hilarious,
man.
The
Martin was wasted on those, man. He's my guy.
Oh, they were wasted on Cannonball Run, Dean Martin.
Oh, yeah. I love that.
And then Frank Sinatra make an appearance on
the second one,
Run or Cannonball Run 2?
Yeah, second one.
I got to get those movies. I haven't had them in years. I need them again.
Okay. All right, Kate.
We got to appreciate Frank's friendship with Mr. Warmth himself, because that is, you guys know who I'm talking about, right? Mr. Warmth.
Who was that?
Yeah.
I can't think of who it is right now.
I'm thinking of Don Rickles.
It's Don Rickles.
Oh, yeah, Don Rickles.
Okay.
I love their relationship. I was listening to this.
That dude was the original roaster.
Oh, my God. Don Rickles is like one of the funniest of all time.
Don Rickles, man.
He had something. He was like at dinner with some gal. It was like before he met his wife and was married, because he was married forever to the same woman. But he's like sitting at dinner with someone, and this like Frank comes up to say something to him at this supper club, and he's like, "Oh, whatever, get out of here, buzz off or something." And the broad is like, "That was Frank Sinatra." Like, what are you doing? They're like, that's just him. Like, he's constantly on. So I have to shout out Don Rickles, because
Don Rickles. It's really great.
It's so funny because he could get away with anything. No one else could talk shit to Frank Sinatra. And Don was funny enough to get away with anything with Frank Sinatra.
It's really good to see Don Rickles when he would be on the Johnny Carson show. It was just a laugh riot throughout the whole thing. You want to look it up on YouTube.
Well, and like Johnny couldn't keep a straight face looking at him. Like he was trying to talk to him, and he couldn't even deal with that at the moment.
Yeah. It always goes south, but in a good way, you know.
Oh my God, it just goes derails so bad, but it's so
like him and Rodney Dangerfield, man.
He was like Jimmy Fallon on Saturday Night Live.
Rodney, oh my God, Rodney on that. I really like watching old Carsons. I love Carson.
Oh, yeah.
Entertainer. So I watch all the old, like him with any of the animal episodes is always a trip. I love him.
Karnak the Magnificent. I used to love that.
Oh my God, yeah. He's so funny with that. Rodney Dangerfield on there, where like Rodney's like Don Rickles, where they come on and it's like the whole time. It's like no one else says anything.
Yeah, it's going off script real quick.
I remember when I was a kid, my mom would let me stay up even on school nights just to watch Johnny Carson's mom. It was, I didn't know what.
That's a great show, though.
But everybody would laugh, and I would laugh along.
Yeah.
He was the warmest, most sincere guy.
Johnny seemed like such a wonderful person all the time, and he was never mean towards any of his guests or anything. Like, yeah.
Gary Shandling was awesome on there too.
Oh yeah, I was gonna shout out Louis Anderson, because Louis started on that, and it's like he was so sweet to Louis that, like, you know, he's this chubby Midwest goofball, and you have Johnny invite you over to the couch, like that's
down.
David Letterman, everybody got on there, man.
Yeah,
I saw Louis Anderson a couple of years ago.
Oh, I loved him so much. I got to see him probably like 2019, maybe he did a tour and he came here. He's
around there.
He's from Minnesota, but he liked doing the Midwest. But what a trip. He's so funny and sweet. And
I like that show Baskets that he was on.
Yeah, me too.
That was so weird.
I like
Life.
So
I like the
funny.
cartoon Life with Louie.
That was really good when he was that little.
Yeah.
That was my time. That was like when I was a kid. I was obsessed with Life with Louie. That was that, and the other one that came out that was another comedian was Bobby's World. Was
what's his
Howie
name?
Mandel.
I'm gonna throw Bob on you.
Yeah, because that was because he would do that voice in the stand-up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Before.
Did you ever see that movie with Howie Mandel and Ted Danson and the guy from Soap?
It's some big mess.
A Fine Mess. Blake Edwards movie. That movie is so fucking good.
I mean, people don't realize Howie Mandel was a great comedian before he started doing all these game shows and stuff. He was funny.
What was it called? A Fine Mess?
A Fine Mess. Yeah.
I'll have to look it up.
The Blake Edwards movie. If you ever see Blake Edwards movies, they were funny. Like Skin Deep with John Ritter.
I've heard of that. I don't know if I ever.
They had a sword fight.
I did the Pink Panther movies. Didn't he do the Pink Panther movies?
Pink Panther.
Yeah, Blake Edwards did the Pink Panther.
Yeah, I've seen the Pink Panther movie.
Pink Panthers.
Yeah.
And
SOB, that was a funny movie.
Check out Skin Deep and A Fine Mess.
Okay. Man, Al, it's a good pick though. I've like my mom is obsessed with Sinatra, so that's in my brain. Like that is tattooed into my psyche, I think, listening to Sinatra, because she is just so obsessed. She got to see him that last tour that he did. He came here and she went to see him, but he's one of the greatest of all time. I mean, can't be.
Yeah, I think people kind of associate me as a hard rock guy. Would probably be surprised, but I love Frank, man. He's, like I say, he's timeless. I mean, how can you not like him, man, when he's on?
Yeah.
It's just one of those timeless artists.
When I think even like his voice almost in my mind was like, you have that really pure, clean voice when he's young, but even once he was getting older and his voice changed, and I'm like, man, it's still so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did Bing Crosby and him ever do a duet?
They have a couple movies they were in together.
Yeah. But I don't think they sang together, did they?
No, what is that movie? It's not, I want to say High Society, but it's not. It's like, I think it's called Holiday Inn or something. Like there's a couple old movies that they did together.
My favorite guy that nobody ever talks about is Danny Kaye.
Yeah.
I love Danny Kaye. His
and that's
movies,
White Christmas, man. Like
you ever see the one where he goes, the vessel and the vessel and the pestle is the brew that is true, and he's like, and he's like all like messed up, and plus he did the Dodgers song, D-O-G-D Dodgers. I love Danny Kaye. He's so funny.
Mm-hmm.
I really like those old time movies.
We should do an episode about those, because like any of those old movies and the soundtracks and all of them are so good.
The road pictures with Bob Hope and Bing Crosby.
Yeah.
The ones with Martin and Lewis. I love all. I got a set of the road pictures. I just don't have the Road to China. And that's my favorite one. I need to get the Road to China, where Gene Martin and Jerry Lewis come down and said, "Hey, get out of here. This ain't your movie."
I love Jerry Lewis. I just thought he was the funniest of the funny.
Oh, God, yeah.
All right, Kate. What's your number one?
All right. We're back on track. Mine is Sisto Rodriguez. I've talked about him before. That Searching for Sugar Man doc.
Right.
I've talked about. This is his second album. This one came out in 1971. His first one's called Cold Fact, and that was 1970, which I need to get a copy of that. Since that movie came out, it's like
I'm writing
crazy
this down.
expensive. I need to find it.
Watch
that documentary.
Is it a C or an S?
Searching for Sugar Man?
No, his name.
Oh, Sisto, Sixto. Sorry,
Sixto. Okay,
yeah,
Sixto.
They name him Sixto because but it's like Sisto because like the X's in Spanish, where you have it sounds like an S on a lot of stuff, but Sixto is right because he was the sixth kid, and they named him Sixto. That's literally how they named him.
Kid always gives me some homework.
That both those albums are great. Like Cold Fact is phenomenal. That's his debut album. And then this one's great. This one's called Coming From Reality. Great psych folk rock, Detroit local native, like born and raised in Detroit. So, I mean, it's just one of those things that, like, he never was famous here until that documentary came out. Like, he was never, I didn't know about him at all. I didn't know about him until I saw that documentary. And I posted a thing the other day that just like right at the beginning of July, he finally, like, all this stuff cleared up and he got awarded all the royalties from everything, because he was super famous in South Africa. He sold more albums in South Africa than Elvis did.
Oh, wow.
So it's like this whole career full of time that he's super famous in, like, New Zealand, South Africa, Australia, and no one here even knows him at all. And he's living in a house. Like, I was reading more about him for this, and he bought a house off of, like, the Detroit government does these auctions, and it was like a house he bought in 73 for $50. And that's the house he's living in. And then in South Africa, he is, like, one of the most famous musicians, selling more than Elvis, and he never saw a cent of that money ever. So it's like, it's just wild. You guys, you have to watch that, because he went to Wayne State. I go to Wayne State. He had a bachelor's in, what was it? I'm trying to think. I don't know. He got a bachelor's from Wayne State, and then later they awarded him honorary doctorate of humane letters. So cool guy. That warm fuzzies from the documentary, you need to watch it. It's so good. His music's great. You guys know I love psych and, like, anything bizarre and different, especially folk psych stuff. So both of those albums, I really enjoyed those when I found them.
Very interesting, because I was expecting Seeger, but I guess not.
See, I was trying to go a little different, because, like, everyone knows Seeger's from Michigan.
Yeah.
So, and, like, Motor City Madman, the Nuge, everyone knows Nuge is from Michigan. And Nuge was actually born in the city I live in now. He was not from Detroit. He's born in Redford, Michigan. And that's where I live now. Yeah, I don't know. There's so many big people that everyone knows are from Detroit, especially like Motown, Madonna, Seeger. I mean, I'll let you do your number one, and I'll shout out some other people in my top 5 honorable mentions.
I think me and Kate were, like, on the same page. I was trying to do bands that nobody talks about, except Van Halen. I had to do Van Halen.
I did a couple big bands. Like, I mean, Chili Peppers, Alice Cooper are big, but then I was like, I want to, and Stevie Wonder's huge, but I was like, I kind of want to bring up some other ones that I feel like are on the periphery. They, like, they had their time. Like, they had, like, a, you know, one-hit wonder, like Question Mark and the Mysterians is like a one-hit wonder, but still a good band that I think needs a shout out, you know. All right, Andy, I'll stop talking.
This right here, I was curious. So at work, I asked about 6 people, have you ever heard of this guy before? 2 out of the 6 said yes, which was sad to me. Buddy Holly.
Oh, really? Wow. I love Buddy Holly.
Texas.
Nice.
Who doesn't know Buddy Holly?
Huh?
Really?
Them youngins, man. They don't know stuff like that.
Have no idea or never heard of Buddy Holly. It's sad because Buddy Holly, I'm afraid that the next generation is never going to know or hear about Buddy Holly.
Yeah, nobody talks about Buddy Holly. They need to have a movie like Elvis right now.
Weezer singing about him. They'll figure it out.
But
Gary Busey play him in the movie?
Yeah.
Gary Busey. Yeah. But a couple of things that I want
It's Gary Drug Abusey.
But a couple of things he wrote and was regarded as an artist who defined traditional rock and roll lineup of a guitar, bass, and drums. Yeah. I mean, he was the first one to come up with that kind of lineup. He was also the first class of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, of course he has to be, but also in the studio in the late 50s with him and his producer, they experimented with double tracking. That had never been done before. And also they did the close mic technique where they pushed all the mics closer to their instruments. So Buddy Holly was a big breakthrough when it came to production. And that we use now or used back in the day. Now it's all computerized crap. But so Buddy Holly has a lot to do with the way we listen to rock and roll.
Oh yeah.
And I know that we talked about Bill Bill Haley, and of course Elvis. We talked about Elvis, but we can't forget about Buddy Holly. The guy with a guitar strap that played the guitar, played solos, played rhythm, came up with riffs, wrote his own stuff, and that's why he's my number one, because to me he was the beginning of rock and roll, and Buddy Holly belonged in the top of my list.
Gone too soon.
Yeah.
He's from Lubbock, Texas, which is the Panhandle. They got statues, parks, all kinds of stuff that's dedicated to Buddy Holly, and it should be. So that's my top pick for artists and musicians out of the state of Texas, Buddy Holly. All right. Honorable mentions. I know that we've run a little long, but I love it. I mean, we're all talking about music and about the bands we love, and we wanted to share, so that's great. I love it. So if I want to do the 5 honorable mentions, I'm all for it.
Sure.
I got mine.
Jerry?
I mean, mine aren't nothing that nobody's ever heard of before, but I'm going to mention them because they're great bands. Out of San Diego, you got Rat, LA Guns out of obviously LA, Testament out of Berkeley, Motley Crue out of LA, and Y&T out of Oakland. Man, I mean, all 5 great bands.
Yeah, and I'll define rock.
Actually, I wish it was in the top 11. I want to put Testament in there, but I love them.
Yeah. I could easily swap out Testament and Anthrax for the big 4.
Well, absolutely. Any day.
I wouldn't think twice
What's
about
wrong with this Anthrax hate? God damn.
Maybe they need to expend it to a
Just
big
because
stick.
they look like fools on stage with those big shorts and clowns, they still make great music.
Oh no, they do make great music. It's just that Testament's music fits more
Yeah, I think so
with
too.
the big 4 to me.
No. I think Anthrax is underrated. That's just me.
I don't know, I think Anthrax.
I think he's Charlie Benetti's the best drummer in the big 4 with Dave Lombardo.
Oh, I can't argue that. He's a good drummer. But,
Yeah.
I'm going to have more to say this tomorrow show, dude. Underrated?
I think Anthrax is underrated.
Ah.
They get a lot of shit, especially by you.
A lot by him.
You like what you like, dude. You can't help it, man.
I know. I don't bitch at you about what you like. I just bitch at you
all
why
the
you
time.
don't.
You bitch at me all the time. About you like Anthrax.
There's a little bit of hate there, a little bit.
I don't hate anybody. I just like to give them shit. That's what we do.
Well, there's like 1,000 more bands.
It would be boring if we didn't give each other shit.
Yeah,
Come on.
Absolutely. Like I said, there's 1,000 more bands out of California, but it's just
Yeah, of course.
There's so many.
California's so many.
Yeah, my other 5, 3 of them I dropped out of the top 10 because I wanted different ones. And 2 of them I didn't put in because everybody would say them. I'm surprised nobody said Megadeth. Journey, Eagles, The Doors, and Metallica. And I also had Jane's Addiction and Social Distortion. So I got 7.
None of us picked Guns N' Roses. That's a shocker, actually.
Guns N' Roses is overrated. Big time.
That I agree with.
Big time. And Charles Trainor's going.
I thought I was going to hear the Beach Boys from one of y'all.
I had them in there, and I thought Eddie was going to be on here, so I didn't pick him because I knew he would. But my bad.
Yeah, in fact, Eddie had a pretty good show about the Beach Boys that he just put out probably a couple of days ago.
Yeah, and Dennis Wilson. I promoted him on the radio show last night, but I forgot who the other album was, and he corrected me. Dennis Wilson. Oh, thanks.
No, Dennis Wilson, Pacific Ocean Blue.
Yeah.
And then I Love You by a Beach Boy.
Yeah.
You guys keep all your notes?
Yeah.
From past episodes and stuff. I do too.
I keep them. I know I don't. They go right in the trash right here because you know how many. I got 3 podcasts. I got 2 videos, a podcast, and a video. It's like I can't hold all these.
Oh yeah, I do notes for all these. We do.
Mine looks like I'm trying to solve a crime. Sometimes there's a wall over here covered with sticky notes.
I would yarn going each one.
Yeah.
Yep. That and finding people albums that they want that I have like
Yeah, I need to
A
find some
lot
Rush.
of sticky notes going on.
I need to get that Lita Ford self-titled album sometime, man.
What do you
It's too
need?
expensive. Lita Ford self-titled one in the 80s.
Oh, that'd be hard to find at an acceptable price. That'll be hard
that's the
to
only
find.
problem.
Yeah. I need Rush Roll the Bones and Presto, but you probably would never find those.
You gotta text me these things and I'll write them down. So Lita,
Clockwork Angels. I'm waiting. I don't want to bug you right now because I want you to get.
I gotta get the disco.
You need
disco ones first. I need to.
I found a sealed copy of Van Halen's OU 812 at a garage sale. I paid $2 for it.
See, I find stuff because I watch. I wrote it down.
For all lawful carnal knowledge does.
Oh well, you could send me that other one.
That's the one I was going to send you.
Yeah, I find stuff though. You never know because I go all over like Michigan, and I even I'll go down to Toledo or somewhere to buy like a collection that I think's worth my time. So you never know what I'll find. I wrote it down.
Van Halen, the Fuck album, and OU 812, and Balance. I need those three.
All right.
Now I've seen Balance. That goes for
I have 5150. I don't have the other three.
All right. I'm writing them down.
Okay, cool.
I got the Balance and the OU 812, but for Unlawful Carnal Knowledge, I got that on CD.
I got Dance to Death by Iron Maiden.
Ew. The first album where Nico counts off. The first song.
But that's the only album I don't have from him, and it's just I can't find it.
It's an underrated album. I like it.
So, what's your honorable mention?
Yeah.
So I mentioned this band before, TT Quick, as Mark Tornillo singing for Accept Now. They were a pretty big, well, not big, but they were a pretty big Jersey band, like in the Jersey circuit back in the early to mid 80s.
Oh wow, was that long ago?
Yeah, they were. Yeah. Get their, if you can find their album TT Quick, like that's a classic in this area. So really,
I want that on CD because I've heard it and I like it.
Yeah,
I love his voice.
Number 4, I'm going with Dillinger Escape Plan. One of the most intense live bands I've ever seen in my life. I got a quick story about seeing them one time. Yeah. They were opening for Clutch, and the singer was like, I don't know, they were having technical problems. So the singer was just out of the blue. He's like, would it be punk rock? Now, kids, if you're listening, cover your ears. He's like, would it be punk rock if I took a shit on stage right now? And everybody was laughing and everything. He climbs up on the PA stack, turns around, drops trowel, and literally takes a dump on the friggin' PA stack. And it was not a solid one. Let's just say. Okay. You see, and it dripped down in front of the thing and everything. Dude, everybody's jaws are just like that.
I bet that thing would go for a nice price on eBay if they had the stains on there still.
Like I said, they were one of the most intense bands I've ever seen live. Like they literally like, you know, fly into each other and stuff like that. It was crazy. So
they literally left it all on stage.
Yeah, they did. Number 3, I'm going with a band called Soraya.
I love Soraya, man.
Yeah,
I was taking its toll. I love that.
Yeah, I had a big crush on Sandy Soraya back in the day. She was actually married to Brian Weed of Tesla for a while.
It's similar sound. They actually did, I think.
Yeah. So yeah, Love Is Taking Its Toll was kind of the closest thing they came to a hit. They have 2 albums and they're both solid, great albums. So I suggest seeking them out. Another one is my number 2 is Whiplash, which is a thrash band from New Jersey. Their first album, Power and Pain, is a classic. Came out in 1986, and they were like one of the first thrash bands on the East Coast. Kind of even they had demos even in the early 80s. So they're really, really good, solid band, Whiplash. And my number 1 is I'll mention, which is a great band. It's a band called Prophet. This was their first album. This was their second album. First album actually had a different singer, and actually had Ted Poley, who went on to Danger, was the drummer in this band on the first album. And then the second album, which is came closest for them almost breaking out, and actually Noel Monk, who managed Van Halen, managed these guys
Oh, really?
And they were on Megaforce Records. And I think Eddie Trunk had a hand in them getting signed to them, or he knew them at least. And I'm friends with Russell Akara, like 3 of the guys from the band. I'm friends with them on Facebook. They're really cool dudes. And but I mean, the second album, Cycle of the Moon, is great. If you get a chance, like listen to that, sample it on YouTube or whatever. It's up there, but it's great melodic hard rock, you know. So yeah, Prophet, I love that, man. So I got to see them in back in the day too. They were a staple on the club circuit here.
Were it 80s, 90s?
They're 80s.
80s, okay.
I think their last album, well, they had 3 albums. So that first one, second one, then they have a third one called Recycled, which I think came out in like the early 90s, 91 maybe. And then that was it when the grunge gate came crashing down. They actually turned into a New Jersey cover band called Edgar Casey, which is ironic. Edgar Casey is actually a prophet. So that's kind of what they went from a band named Prophet to Edgar Casey and became a cover band. One of the best cover bands I ever saw. They used to do like Rush and Soundgarden and Stevie Ray Vaughn, Van Halen. They used to cover the whole gamut, and they were great. So, but Prophet, man, check them out.
Yeah, I wrote them down. Check that out.
And Soraya too, man. Soraya is very underrated. I love that band.
Oh, I like that band too.
Yeah.
Kate.
Oh man, I was like looking at my list. I have like 40 people written down.
Yeah.
To pick probably, I've mentioned so many people that are like, Kid Rock, Eminem, Madonna, all these people that are famous from Detroit. Random, why not do Wayne Static is from Michigan.
Oh, Wayne Static, okay.
Rare Earth, I think that's kind of a jam.
Oh, Rare Earth.
That's a Michigan band.
I did a review of that album.
Oh, they were on the Motown label.
Yeah. Yep.
That they had their own label on it.
We covered Diana Ross, Smokey Robinson. Oh, Mark Farner at Grand Funk. Mark Farner's from here.
Hey, he's playing down at Montclair too. Mark Farner's Grand Funk.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to see
how many of these people still are around and touring. Like I said earlier, like it's just wild.
I got like 2 venues like within 2 miles of myself.
Bruce Kulick is with Grand Funk Railroad.
Grand Funk Railroad.
Yeah. Doug Feiger of the Knack. I was thinking the Knack's pretty. I mean, that's pretty wild. That's interesting because I was thinking about that. That Doug Feiger's brother, Jeff Feiger, is like a big lawyer here. So it's funny that you have one that's like a really big time lawyer, and then the other brothers in the Knack. I mentioned Mark Tremonti. That was one I was saving, but that one I mentioned earlier because you brought him up. That's Creed. But I like Alter Bridge a lot more. So it's like people who hate on Scott Stapp because he's whatever. But
I love Creed.
Really
he's a great singer, man. He's a great singer.
The Great Divide, his solo album, The Great Divide, rules.
Alter Bridge is awesome.
I really like Alter Bridge.
They're releasing a new album. I'm like, yes.
And you mentioned that thing with him covering the Sinatra stuff is wild. I watched some of that a few weeks ago, and I totally forgot about it until you said that again. I was like, that was really good.
I'm going to be that guy that, I mean, I think Alter Bridge is a good band, but I can only take Miles Kennedy's voice for so long. I don't.
Oh, really?
I know I'm in the minority with that, but I don't know. Just there's a certain tone to his voice that, I don't hate him, but I actually like Tremonti, the band, better than Alter Bridge. I like they're heavier, and I don't know. I like Mark Tremonti's voice. So
it's hear that Sinatra stuff. It's
I'm not slighting on Alter Bridge.
I gotta check that out.
I have a lot of fans, and I don't hate on Creed either. I thought Creed was a great band too.
I liked Creed at the time. That was when they came out. That was a totally different.
I saw them open for Van Halen.
I picked that wrong. I was telling everybody he had Led Zeppelin, and Metallica, and next is going to be Creed. I was wrong about Creed, but. I thought they were going to be really
love
big. I
Creed.
thought they were going to be huge.
Dude, 2 of their albums.
They were huge.
I mean, I'm talking
all the
about
albums went platinum.
10 or 11.
They were
Two
doing
of their
stadium
albums were
tours,
diamond, I
like,
think, right?
yeah. Well, and like
Oh,
doing
really?
stadium tours within a few years of coming out, like that's.
I thought they were the next,
Yeah.
2 decades.
Yeah, that they'd be huge still.
I love Miles Kennedy. I love him in Slash. I love him in Alter Bridge. I love his solo. So I
that's
have
cool,
no problem with Miles.
Yeah.
And he's great live. I saw him with Slash a few months ago.
I've seen him live too. I'm not saying he's not a great frontman and stuff, but I don't know. He's not. Everybody puts him on
A pedestal.
no,
There's
not that. They say, oh, he's one of the great singers. I think he's not one of my favorite singers.
Yeah.
I think the guy from Rival Sons is better.
Yeah,
You can
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, my friend Tina Bird on Facebook would disagree with you. I mean, she's
totally
in love with
She's a
Miles.
huge nut swinger.
Every day is like
Miles
something.
Monday, Miles
Yeah.
Tuesday, Miles Wednesday, Miles Thursday, Miles Friday.
Yeah.
I go, is there a day without a Miles?
I don't know how many I did. I don't know. Susie Quattro. That's another one I wanted to shout out.
Leather
What else?
Tuscadero.
Yeah,
Yeah.
from Happy Days.
Did I say
Yeah.
Smokey Robinson?
Yeah.
I think. I don't know. Gin Blossoms, Jackie Wilson, Del Shannon. Did I say that one?
No.
Yeah,
My Little Runaway.
My Little Runaway.
Yeah. You guys probably like Smoking in the Boys' Room, Brownsville Station.
Yeah.
Nashville Station.
No, Jerry hates smoking in the boys' room.
That was
Because-
I said I don't like the Motley Crue version of Smoking.
Yes. Well,
There you go.
come
there
on.
you
Motley
go.
Crue's version is better to me. But,
But
To
you mentioned
me.
the Gin Blossoms, man. That's a great band. I love them.
Gin Blossoms. Yeah, that one's
yeah,
really,
you guys were
really
all
good.
talking about them the other day.
Yeah.
One of the best debut
Yeah, when we
albums.
went on our like crazy long Third Eye Blind
Yeah,
and Gin
right.
Blossoms and all that.
Oh, I love Third Eye Blind. I have all their albums.
That one more Darcy Smashing Pumpkins, the bassist, she's from Michigan too.
Nice. She got screwed. They brought everybody back except her.
Yeah. Oh, Sponge. That was one. I'm looking at this list and it's like a big mess. So like Sponge is another one.
I love Sponge, man.
Yeah,
Right.
the thing with Darcy not coming back to Smashing Pumpkins, they wanted her back, but she hadn't been practicing or playing at all.
I
They
think
brought
she
her in,
couldn't do it or something. Yeah.
and she couldn't play.
Mm.
And Billy said, he couldn't have that. So that's why the others are there. She didn't really care to come back to
I mean,
begin
I bet it's just such a different life. Like if I don't know if she has kids or anything, but if you've
Yeah.
been on that long, like you would be in a totally different headspace and everything, I'm sure. I don't know.
But when I saw them a couple of months ago, and they had like 7 or 8 players on the stage with them.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's good than having tape, so that's great
Yeah.
for me.
I'd rather have extra musicians than
Yeah,
tapes.
yeah. So there were additional musicians with all guitars to fill in that sound that Billy wanted. So
Yeah.
better that than having a backing track or it not being real on stage. Yeah. Are you through, Kate, or you got a couple more?
I have like so many.
Dude, you can name like 100.
Verve pipe. All right, I'm done.
Verve Pop, I forgot about them.
Yeah, I like them.
Rolling Stones destroyed them. All right.
Mine, I'm the Toadies. I think we talked about them.
Ooh, yeah.
They're out of Texas.
Yeah.
Meatloaf is also from Dallas. Of course, he moved. In my hometown, she's like a hometown hero. Selena is from my hometown of Corpus Christi. Billy Preston is from Houston, who is also known as the Fifth Beatle. Billy Preston.
Yeah.
He had a lot of really good solo albums. Now, this is what kind of surprised me. I didn't know this guy was from Texas. Sly Stone from Stone and the Family.
Sly
From
Family.
Dallas.
I thought he was San Francisco.
Yeah, I didn't know he's from Texas.
Yeah, Cisco. And also a band that I listened to and I got away from, and after I read this, I'm going to get back into them. But Mars Volta, a really good prog metal band. that came out on Mars Volta. And that's it for my list for people out of Texas.
It's been a great topic, man. I love this.
Yeah,
From different states.
Yeah.
Now, next week, we are going to finish off the different topics for America. We are going to do songs that have the title America in them, or a town or city in America that is sung about. That's what we have down the pike next week, next Wednesday. And also next Thursday, I'll be on the
Mark and Jared
BS sessions.
BS sessions. We'll be doing top 11 or top 9?
Top 11 Tom Petty song. Make your own 11-song Tom Petty album.
Okay.
That's what we're doing tomorrow with the Stones with Eddie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's going to be a good one. Y'all are going to be on there with Eddie and Charles, right?
Yeah, and we're going to talk about Extreme. Charles is going to bring that shit up. All right.
And so next week we are going to wrap up the honor to American music by songs that have America in the title or a place in America in the title. And I hope that y'all will be able to make that, and y'all out there watching, hope y'all come back again. That'll be next Wednesday. What do you got going on, Al? Anything coming up?
I'm just going to be, like I said, the next 2 days I'm going to be off of work, so I'm having a long weekend. Spending some family time. I got my niece and nephew here and my sister-in-law here at my house now.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's a good time.
Yeah, so then Saturday I'm going to go see Joe Perry down in Atlantic City, New Jersey.
Nice.
Then Sunday I'm going to see Elton John. So my wife and my daughter, we're going to see Elton. So it should be cool. And that's what I got going on.
Cool.
Concerts.
Yeah.
You'll be busy, but it'll be fun.
Yeah.
All right. And you, Kate?
You can check me out on any of my pages that I do. International House of Vinyl, Vinyl Street. If you have anything you're looking for vinyl-wise, always let me know. I will keep an eye out for you.
Roll the balls for Mark.
Right. I got to get that disco. I got to go through it.
I'm waiting to make that video.
Yeah. I know I have a ton sitting here. It's just looking through 3,000 albums that are sitting here.
I need at least an ABBA and a Bee Gees and a Donna Summer, man.
I can for sure make those 3 happen. For sure. No problem. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, a Casey and a Sunshine Band, especially them.
I probably have something. I bet you. Yeah. All that stuff's cheap. So, I'm sure.
Well, you can blow it up if you want.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, I'm not going to blow it up. I can't do it in this room. I'm going to tear it up.
Hey, so what's going on with you, Mark, in the next week or so?
Well, this Friday, our episode's coming out. We're doing live Throwing Copper, which we did like 5-6 weeks ago. So I have 7 episodes in the can, man. We're like, we have a, if you got in September, we're going to have a huge epic on Guns N' Roses Use Your Illusions 1 and 2. It's 4 hours and 22-second episode with Charles Trainer. Just a little sneak peek, but you got to wait till September for that to see what we said about it. So
awesome. All right. And you, Jerry, what do you got?
Just spending a lot of time with family lately, especially with my daughter. Been going down. She was about 100 miles away. We've been trying to, spend as much time as possible. I love her to death, and
that's great.
Just being with the family.
Good. All right, guys.
Out here to my family. I don't know if you can see him. That's my wife in front of me, my son-in-law, and my daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah, me and your son-in-law's had some words.
He's a very opinionated person. Yes.
Oh yeah.
He's a good guy, though.
At least he didn't put me down. That was cool.
He takes care of my daughter, man. That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
I give a damn about political views.
I hate politics, man. That's when I cared about it. I don't like it no more.
All right, guys. Well, thanks a lot for joining me. Thanks for spending the time with us. It's always a good time. Al, have a good time with your extended family over.
Thank you.
And I will be seeing you on next Wednesday. I will put a link out for who wants to join for next Wednesday. And Jerry and Mark, I'll see y'all next Thursday, if not before that. And I'll talk to y'all, of course, throughout the week, guys. Y'all take care. And everybody out there watching us, thank you for sticking around. And thank you for all the comments of your choices from your state. Thank you so much. And I will see y'all later.
As always, guys, thank you. It's been fun. Thank you for having me again.
Thanks for hosting, Andy.
Y'all are awesome.
Take it sleazy, and remember, if you don't drink whiskey, you're part of the problem. All right.
that was a good. I'm going to be doing a T-shirt thing, and that was one of the suggestions, Mark, that I do a T-shirt.
Yeah, my wife gave me that one to do on the radio show, so that's her idea. I love it.
One.
All right.
Cheers.
All right.
Take it easy, y'all. Have a good night.
Bye.
Good night.